Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Masks Monday for the last time, for this is the last session of the entire campaign. Holy fuck. I mean, I think actually, we need to congratulate you all for sticking with it all the way through, because many groups do not, many fall by the wayside, even though you've obviously had many characters. So this is a big feat. So amazing. You got lot. Thank you. So before we get into mixed emotions and possible chuckle fuckery, let's go around the table for the final time. God damn, Mr. Walker.
Yes, indeed. My name is Mr. Walker. My fourth character, since we're crossing the campaign, I am an archaeologist, acquaintance of Mr. Dodge, that says, okay, I might join this group of fellas taking down this weird cult before realizing it's going to bite the dust. It's not doing so well right now, so close to losing a fifth of his sanity, the whole lot of his life points. So hopefully I will make it out of this cave. Who knows?
Mm. And we also have somebody else fairly close to their, permanently insane sanity by the sounds of it, Mr. Bigbush.
Yes, this is also my fourth character, although it's more of an extended cameo for this one. I'm playing Johnny Bigbush, who, yes, is on the verge of a nervous breakdown or possibly a moment of wondrous clarity. He's never quite sure from second to second. And he thinks this is a great time, although that might just be the drugs.
Indeed. We also have Miss Lin.
Hi, I'm Becky. I'm playing Lin, and this week's episode is sponsored by Bored VPN. That is to say, I'm bored of VPN adverts on YouTube. If you need a YouTube commentator to tell you what a VPN is, you definitely do not fucking need one.
I was so worried you were going to say bored because you're bored of the campaign. So thank you. Irrational anxiety averted. And finally, last by no means least, we have Kuparr.
Kuparr is also my fourth character, and he's hoping to save the world with his good friends here, and going to relate what happened in the last episode.
Please do.
Okay. Well, last time we just returned to the surface for a rest and some really required first aid. While we were there, we picked up a new friend in Johnny Bigbush, who told us a little bit about his knowledge of the city and where we should actually be headed. We also showed him the camera we picked up in the city, and he recognized it as a lightning gun, as he previously used it to escape, or one like it anyway. He trained all of us how to use it in case we needed it. Then we questioned a captive that we had from a couple of sessions before Lin disposed of the evidence somewhere out in the outback. Then we decided to, when we went back into the great city, where Johnny led us to a great slope that went lower and lower and lower until we went to the very bottom level. But that deep in the city, we found it all very disorientating. We walked for quite a long way. We found another generator, but it was turned off. There was indications that dynamite had been dropped or placed in the area at some point. But the slope still carried on down, so we followed it down to the bottom. Johnny heard booming sounds and vibrations through the ground from the distance. But as we got to the bottom of the slope, we noticed that our lanterns weren't actually casting as much light as what they should. And in the gloom, all we could do was just barely make out a large archway with quite a huge space beyond that, and that's where the sounds seemed to be coming from. And there was also quite a bad smell in there. we were all feeling there was something hostile in there, and we were too afraid to go out into the space, so we made our way around the curve of the wall. We found another exit, and there was a slope that actually led up. And Johnny seemed to recognise it as leading towards the area where Huston lived or stayed, had his office, whatever you want to call it. So we climbed up the slope towards that area, thinking we'll dispose of the main opposition before doing our ritual. And as we did go up through the city higher to the next level, the light from our lantern seemed to return. We found a large, thick cable emerging from a wall and going up the same path as well, but we never actually found out what that was for. As we ascended, we found more buildings. Then, as we got closer to the top, we heard very loud music, like it was playing on a gramophone. And Lin pretty quickly located the building where the music was coming from, and two voices, one English and one American, and they seemed to be arguing. Lin decided to scale the wall in the attempt to attack through the window, while we went through the building and came bursting through the door. So as she went up the wall, we crept inside. On the ground floor, we found several crates, storage crates, and we made our way up to the first floor. Lin heard an English guy saying that he was a god, but then there was the American guy was saying that he was going to be greater than that, god of all gods. That didn't stop Lin. She carried on, got to the window, and the music was turned off by this time, and the two men were actually leaving the room. So to get them back, Lin decided to reach in and turn the gramophone back on. And just as we reached the second floor, we found cages full of people, and we had trouble keeping them quiet. So they were starting to cry out because obviously they want to be released. Then Lin did reach in, turned the gramophone on, which did bring someone back into the room. She managed to glimpse that it looked like a very young-looking Aubrey Penhew. He crossed the window, and before Lin could react, he leaned out of the window, saw her, and sort of reached out with his hand and sort of hit her with some sort of force from his projector from his hand, which knocked her from the building. Huston must have heard the noise from inside, from the cages, and he came down and confronted us, found us at the cages in the building. And that was where we left it.
Lin is still hanging on.
Oh, is she? I thought she actually fell.
No, she didn't fall. She nearly fell, but not quite. Not yet.
I extremed.
Yes.
Cool. You did a lot of that actually last episode.
I had to spend a point of luck for that roll, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I'd like to do first is deal with Johnny's bout of madness. So you have a choice. Either you can do a D100 roll to determine what that could be, or I can choose for you.
Oh, let's do D100. Come on, let's do it. Let's. Come on, dice, be good to me tonight. That's 28.
Oof. Okay, I will come back to you in a moment on your initiative. Now, I know that Mitch, quote unquote, wanted to shoot the fucker. What are the rest of your intentions, Kuparr and Lin, for this round?
My intention does not involve having a drawn weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
Or falling to
Okay.
the ground, for that matter.
When Huston caught us on the second floor, he actually mentioned Mitch and Johnny, but he didn't. No mention of me was did mention me. So did he see me, or does he not know I'm there?
Yeah, he's seen you. It's
Okay.
basically he's on the kind of halfway point of the stairwell. So he's about sort of 5 feet away from the three of you. Mitch is more inside the room with the cages, and the two of you, the rest of you, are kind of on the stairs. So yeah, he's definitely seen you, but maybe he doesn't recognize you, but he blatantly recognizes the other two. Yes.
Yeah, we wouldn't recognise me, but okay.
Well, maybe have a think.
Yeah.
Since you've got a little bit of time initiative anyway. So, Mitch, given you've not technically, because your gun was kind of at the side, just for this round, you're going to be in normal initiative, as it were, and then obviously got plus 50. Dr. Huston is going to basically hold out a hand towards you, almost kind of in anticipation, seeing your pistol, and start chanting some words. But nothing kind of happens to you specifically. You don't need to roll anything or what have you. Johnny, when you, in fact, I'll say that this is almost kind of elevated a little bit quite conveniently with Huston doing this. You feel incredibly almost fatigued, but in a very kind of sad, depressed way, in that you know how capable this man is, and the more you think about, he's been down here for a long time. Okay, you escaped, but what's he been doing? And he's obviously got some sort of plan. All these thoughts start racing around your head, and you fall to your knees almost in defeat. Yeah, and in fact, to the point where you can actually barely speak. You're essentially suffering from catatonia.
I sort of could almost curl up into a ball at that point, trying to sort of self-comfort.
Okie dokie. Okay, Mitch, you're up. So feel free to fire if you still want to.
Yeah, of course.
Also, you are in point blank range, I believe.
That really depends on how close I am to Mr. Huston.
4 yards according to roll 20. So unless your dex is less than 20, then yes.
Yeah, definitely not. But I rolled, and I'm spending 2 points of luck to make it an extreme.
Oh, an impale. Okay, roll your damage.
This bitch is not dodging this.
Well, no, you literally can't. I know I did that wrong for much of the campaign, but you actually can't dodge bullets.
It's 12 total.
12. Ooh.
For fuck's sake.
Okay. Yeah, go on, why not? All right. Okay, so he keeps his hand held out. You get him in a really good place in the chest, and you think, yeah, you've got him. He's going to bleed out. And you can definitely see his eyes tense up, and his very sort of clench. And he kind of keeps trying with this very tense hand to keep up his spell, whatever he's doing. But you find that the bullet does go in. But as it does so, it almost sort of starts dissolving and just sprinkling out of him as if it's nothing. Or maybe his skin is so hard that it just cuts it into tiny little pieces. He looks a little fatigued from that, but he definitely looks unharmed.
Oh no.
Lin.
Oh, you're really hot. Can we have sex, or do I have to chat you up first?
Okay. I wasn't expecting you to go straight for that. I was gonna give you a chance if you wanted. Let's see. Does he have something he must do? Yeah. Okay.
There is no resisting my charms.
No, it's not that. It's not that. What's your appearance again?
80.
Okay. He gives you a smile and says, "Well, I didn't exactly get the chance to get to the nature of why you're here, but you are climbing up the outside of my colleague's headquarters. I thought you were being hostile."
Our bedroom's not upstairs?
Not that I, of course, completely trust you, but you do seem
Would it help
like...
if I was naked?
Let us converse more civilly, shall we?
I climb through the window and take off my robes.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't like take your hand or anything. If you want, you could roll me psychology if you're maybe concerned about how he's feeling about you.
I think I've got it down already, but let me see. That is a hard pass.
He's definitely of the opinion that, like, he knows that you're somebody who could, easily, want to overpower him, maybe have that nature. And you think, especially because of you being Chinese, he's kind of put two and two together about stuff. But at the same time, he's happy to be civil with you. Have sex with you, whatever, by the sounds of it. He seems like quite unhinged in that regard and kind of just does what he wants.
Okay. I take off my clothes in a seductive manner and then move in.
Okay. Well, straight to it. I wasn't in the mood for it earlier, and he kind of strokes his half-shaven 5 o'clock shadow. But please, there is a bed in there. I apologize. I was not expecting this.
It's okay. I'll take you right here.
Okay. So when you're in the sort of small room that you were kind of leaning in before with the gramophone, it's kind of like an eating area, but he's gone into a much larger part of this floor. There's a huge, quite ornate-looking rug. Few places of interest. So there's a guest. A desk. I can't speak. You don't know if it's his or Huston's or somebody else. And there's a few sort of plush seating around it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He likes that. He likes that a lot, actually.
It's going to be rough and vigorous because that way I can get violent with him when I'm done, and he won't not notice the start.
I'll be as violent as you want, my dear.
I've just put it in the chat. I bet you no other group ever in the history of running this game ever tries this maneuver.
I mean, I'm on a masks group, and all sorts of weird stuff happens in different parties, so you never know.
We're trend setting. That's what we're doing.
Anyway, enough of you two. Fade to black. Blah blah blah. Right. Next up is, meanwhile, back down below, Kuparr.
Okay, yeah. Seeing Mitch shoot, and I'll raise my rifle and shoot.
You want to raise your rifle at this range? Are you sure?
I've got a rifle or a boomerang.
You're like 4 feet away from it. Not 4 feet. 4 yards away.
Oh, 4 yards. So that's 20 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's too close for a boomerang because you can't. It's got to arc a bit, isn't it?
It is up to you.
Yeah. Rifle.
Okay, rifle it is.
Which I'm not great at because obviously I've only just learned to shoot it like the other week.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly. 32. So I'm going to spend 2 to make that a pass.
Okay, yeah, you hit.
And that is 12.
12. Okay. Where is the man? Okay. So he buckles quite a lot of that, and you get him. I'll say in the shoulder, but it's quite deep, and it's a big wound given it's a rifle. The sound just bounces off the stairwell walls, and he's panting heavily. He's still conscious, but you've definitely walloped him a good one with that bullet. And he kind of looks up at you. You see this rage in his eyes, but this still very calm demeanor on his face. Okay. Actually, yes. Given the noise that's been ensuing with the gun firing, etc., you start hearing some kind of general panic outside, whether it's your allies or if it's other people, but it's multiple people. And Lin, give or take, you might hear a bit of this as well, although you might be in the moment. I don't know. It depends on what your plan is with this, or if it's literally just to fuck him. I don't know.
I have a need. Once that's satisfied, I'm going to use the fact that this is vigorous to cover up the start of me getting violent with him, because ultimately I do need to deal with him. But,
Yeah, so let's see where you're going with it.
Nothing else, you might weaken them.
Yes. Okay, so let me just double check. So Mitch has got his gun raised. I'm assuming that you're gonna fire another shot next round, right? Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And Kuparr, are you doing the same with your rifle?
Yeah, I think probably I will. If seeing that one affected him, I'll definitely take advantage.
Okay. No Juarez. Oh, that's kind of hilarious. Okay. Oh God, come on. Okay. Okay, so it is technically Aubrey's go. So I did have some plans for him, but again, I just didn't expect you to go straight in like this. So let me just think for a moment. That kind of works. Are you
Crikey, that's a lot ahead.
Yes, it is. Dare I ask, are you on top of him or the other way around?
Oh, I'm dominating him. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. No worries. Give me a second. In fact, actually, it depends if he is next or not, because it will just depend. Oh, no, it's fine. It is. Okay. Right. So, yeah, he definitely enjoys, for some reason or another, being fucked on this desk. But after a little bit of you being on top, he seems to kind of go a bit more wooden. And at that point, I would like you to make me a power roll.
well, that would be a pass. Given the number on the tens die.
Okay. Okay. So he says to you in this very commanding voice, "I'm liking this very much, but I want to switch places." And you feel this strange bending of your will. He's just so hot.
So am I compelled?
You are compelled, yes.
I'll allow it.
Okay. Okay, so I know that next up we've got Mitch and Kuparr technically at the same time, but let me just check about Huston quickly. Yes, he's also at the same time. That's interesting. Okay, what I'd like to happen, let me think. What are each of your respective gun/rifle skills?
I got a 65 in handgun.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 30 in rifle.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's going fast. Definitely. So, you both have your guns up, and you can still fire, no problem. But maybe he'd started it off when he was down a little bit. But suddenly, this dense mist begins to appear around him, very dark, and starts billowing up into this almost egg shape, and it comes out quite expansive. So you think that you're going to be stuck in it as well in not very much time. But yeah, feel free to shoot. You will, however, be getting not a penalty, but it's going to be a hard pass at least to succeed.
Fuck. Okay. Kuparr, if you want to go first.
Okay, 15 or better. Nope, 48.
You said hard pass, Jason. Is that correct? Suck on this. I'm spending 1 point of luck to roll a 1.
Oh. Okay then. What's
You're not
the
running away
damage on
from
your
me.
gun? Is it a D10?
A D10, yes.
Okay. So the fog or the mist or whatever, it does keep billowing out of him and expanding, and all of you are engulfed in it, and including you, Johnny, on the floor. More wailing and moaning sounds come from the cages, and Johnny, you feel in particular like this is it now. You're done. He is just going to swallow you all up. But for those of you who are not in a catatonic stupor, after the gunfire shot goes off, and again it sort of echoes around the walls, and Kuparr, you're kind of waiting as well in anticipation. You think, having missed and gone a bit wide, it just starts sort of thinning out and dissipating, and you can just about see as it starts to clear that he is now on the floor, unconscious, and there is blood seeping out of him and just trickling down the stairs.
Motherfucker. Yes.
Are you sure it's the right person?
Are you sure it's the right person?
Am I?
Okay.
I'm not you anymore, but I'm sure it is the right person.
Do you say that as in character?
No,
Yeah.
that was a joke on Liu
All right.
killing a nurse, thinking she was giving birth to maggots. Thank you again for that.
Ain't I a stinker? Okay, so the two of you hear this verbless whimpering coming from Johnny as he's curled up even further and just again so defeated and just waiting as if to die. I don't know if you say anything, but Johnny, you feel this kind of. You're obviously still very scared, but the sounds around you are getting louder, just for a second, and then some of them kind of stop abruptly, almost like there's a bit of confusion.
It'll start again. It starts again. Always the noise. Always the silence and the noise. Always.
I would like you to make me a reality check.
That's the D6, isn't it?
No, it's a sanity roll.
Oh, sanity roll.
Although since you're in a Battle of Madness already, you're not going to lose any more if you fail.
If. I like your confidence. Unlike my dice. Yeah, failed massively.
Okay. Then yeah, you're 100% convinced he's just getting started. You know, he can cast something more powerful than that. He's toying with you like he always has done. He likes to play and play the long game, that kind of thing.
He's going to harm us all. He's going to kill us all.
Again, you try and verbalize this, but it just comes out with mumbling and whimpering to the rest of you. Lin, unless you're really enjoying yourself, you can make another power roll. As in character,
Thinking
obviously.
about this.
I mean, yeah, that's the point. I'm going to enjoy him first, then kill him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're okay being on top?
Yeah, he can be on top for a bit.
Okay.
It's not going to finish that way.
Then he carries on, and when he's doing it with you, he's very physically attractive in so many ways to you, to the point where it's almost like he's looking even younger than when you first laid eyes on him. Is it something that he's casting, or is it just a trick, like a placebo sort of thing? But he's very keen to, carry on. However, after another few seconds of vigorous thrusting, he says to you, again in a very commanding way, "Tell me why you're here."
And is this where I can do a power roll?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
We're here to save the planet. Can I elaborate on that? Like, do I have the will to elaborate? Like, say the truth, but add a bit myself? Or do I have to keep it concise to the truth?
No, I mean, let me think. It has to be the truth, because essentially he's using dominate on you.
Yeah, so we're here to save the planet. In this case, by making a little version of you to keep the species going. Now fuck me harder and stop talking.
That child's scream was so well timed there. Okay. So that's something for him to think about. Again, he likes it very much. So let's get rid of you, although I don't know how to do that. Oh yeah, I know how to do that. Okay. Removal. No. Oh, it's fine. I'll just go past him. Nefo. Okay, so Mitch and Kuparr, you have your guns still up, although there's nobody to shoot for the moment. So either you can,
Yeah,
you
about
can
that.
choose to shoot something else or what have you.
No, I'm shooting Huston in the head a couple times.
Okay. All right. I'll say that you kind of go over and shoot. Kuparr, what's your intention?
I want to go over and see if Johnny's okay.
Okay.
Try and comfort him, maybe get him up and moving again.
Okay. Yeah, Johnny is not doing well. Do you have any first aid or medicine on you?
I don't know what medicine I'd have. I might have some sort of remedies. Medicine. I've only got the base one in medicine. First aid would be, yes, I do have first aid. Obviously, you know to do a little bit of bush medicine.
Yeah. Okay. You can make a medicine roll to see what's wrong with him.
Medicine roll.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. First aid to kind of check your vitals.
Okay, that's a pass.
It's a pass. Okay. Yeah, his breathing and his heart rate is extremely slow. To the point it's almost as if he would be in a trance to you, but he's blatantly not in a trance. His eyes are fleeting around. He's looking at you sometimes, looking around. So it can't be that. So this seems very strange and odd to you. You've not seen this before.
Do I think he can actually hear me when I'm talking to him?
That would need a psychology roll.
Oh, that's not going to be very easy. And it wasn't. That's a fail. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. The only thing you can think of is if maybe it's almost like a symptom of inhaling incense or something, as to why this is happening to him, and it's difficult to tell if he can actually hear you or if he's just focusing on you out of luck, certain thing. Speaking of which, I would like a group luck roll.
I believe it's on me because I got 46.
Okay, I'm 56, so yeah.
Is it me? Okay. Yeah, failed.
Okay. So there was that general panic about half a minute earlier outside that the majority of you could hear. And for a minute, well, not a minute, but in between time and now, it's almost like there's a strange lull of sound in the air. And then this almost a wave of shouting and rah sort of comes at you, and all of you, whether you're Lin or whatever, hear the sound of the doors, you presume, around the building just get collided in.
Oh, fuck. Can I get a quick glance on the stairs going downstairs to see what rampaged into the building?
You need to go back into the ground floor room because the stairwell is kind of on the side of the building. But yeah, you can nip down, no problem.
Of course, pointing my handgun out, I'm going to see what's going on.
Okay. Let's stay out of initiative for now. We might go back into it though, depending. So yeah, you head on downstairs, gun cocked, and these noises are getting close quite quickly. And as I guess you kind of lean round the door a little bit, and you almost bump in or collide with presumably one of the Aboriginals who came with you. And yeah, you realize it's one of the Martu in their sort of their white paint. And you see that there's a load of them in this room with you. And the one in front of you looks a little bit startled at seeing you. And he kind of just holds the others for a moment and then says, Where to?
I imagine Upstairs, we managed to get one of them, but there are cages upstairs with people that need medical attendance. So you may look into it and bring
Okay.
them out of the building.
Okay. Is there anybody else up there?
Just
Gestures
Cooper
back.
and Johnny. Maybe Lynn is way upstairs again, but we're going to go check on her. Maybe give her a couple more minutes.
Quite literally. He nods, and it sounds like he's more interested in getting people out safely, medical attention, like that. So he sends a few people upstairs, given that how confined the space is getting. And the other two of you start hearing the sound of footsteps coming upstairs, and there's about 10 or 15 Martu who've come up, and they see the contents of the room that you're kind of in a bit, Johnny, and they kind of put their hand over their mouth at the smell as well. They gingerly go over to one of the cages and see kind of, if they can, pull it open or something like that. And if you're watching, they're kind of twiddling with this padlock of sorts, but they look at it and look a bit confused.
Okay. Can I go over to Houston's body and see if he's got any keys on him?
You can certainly check his pockets, yes.
Oh, if there's a crowbar laying around.
I mean, there isn't in the room with the cages, but just to remind you, there was plenty of crates and all sorts in the room below. So if you want to try and search there.
I'd rather leave it to the Martus and check on Lynn first, because she went upstairs alone, and then we were stuck in here for ages.
I see. Okay. Well, I'll deal with Huston's body first. So you search his pocket. Inside his one of his I suppose he's got like a basic sort of jacket on, or like a cagoule sort of thing. He's got this strange square device. It's you don't know if it's made of a hard stone or mineral or something like that, but it's quite weighty. And to start with, you think it's just like maybe a charm or something that he carries with him as good luck, but it has this strange smooth edge to it.
Okay. Is there a pattern on it?
No, there's no pattern.
Okay, I won't throw it away. I'll keep it. But is there anything? I'm looking for keys mainly for the cages.
There's no keys. No.
Okay. Okay, so I will show Mitch. Any idea what this is? It was on Houston.
Assuming that I never saw anything like this before, unless you tell me, I'd rather. Yeah, sorry.
You haven't. It is a little bit strange. Do you take it off, Kuparr, to kind of look at it properly?
Yeah, I'll just take it from his hands to
Okay.
look the different sides of it.
Okay. It's basically like a little cube or cuboid shape. But what you notice is more the feel of it. So yeah, it's definitely made of something heavy, but there's a strip of it which is a metal. So whether it's maybe a magnet or something like that, that's the kind of idea you're getting from it. Apologies if you can hear hammering, by the way.
Okay. I was going to ask if I could either roll an archaeology check or a Cthulhu Mythos check to see if somewhere deep in my mind I got like a description of an object that may fit with what I'm seeing.
Okay. Probably Cthulhu Mythos.
Let's see. Nope. Yeah, no clue. Looks important though, so we might as well keep it with us.
You presume that either Huston has acquired this from somebody or somewhere, or he's found it within the great city and it was originally made by one of the Yithians, but that's all you know. You don't know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely no clue.
You notice as well that Kuparr has kind of tried to pacify Johnny a little bit and kind of bring him around, but he's just still curled up and not particularly responsive. At this point, the Martu are trying to pull off these locks, but it's just not happening. But then you notice that they look confused because there's no lock specifically in the padlock. There's nowhere to put a key.
What kind of metal are they made of? Maybe they resemble the one on the cube?
I mean, yeah, you can try and kind of check them side by side if you want.
Yeah, I am.
All right. So you put it close to one of the padlocks, and almost immediately you feel a magnetized pull. And when they meet, you hear a click inside the lock somewhere, and the padlock opens.
Oh, thank God I didn't electrocute.
That's
people.
what it is. Well done, Mitch.
Yeah, it was just luck. Of course, I opened the other cages, but I assume there were two. There were two of them, right?
There's more than two. There are 7 total of these large cages. There are
Jesus.
about sort of 8 feet square across, and they're absolutely packed full of people.
So I'm opening, of course, all of them.
Fair enough. Dare I say again, but I'd like you to make a group luck roll. Or actually, no. Let's make it. Well, I suppose it's the same, isn't it? It's technically an individual one, but it's going to be the same anyway.
Yeah. Why do you have to do this to me? Yeah, okay, it's a pass. This one's a pass.
Okay. Lucky for you.
Oh, yes, it is.
Check
Okay.
something. Okay. Yeah, as you start opening up the cages, you're smelling more of this smell of excrement, and it's definitely not that kind of pungent bat smell. It's got a much more human smell to it. And you notice quite quickly that whilst there are these buckets dotted around the room near the cages of things like roots and like potatoes and sort of raw vegetables from the ground, there's nowhere for them to excrete except for inside the cages, basically. So it's quite a disgusting sight. The people in there are obviously very malnourished as well, and some are in quite bad shape. You can see more punctures, and certainly in some of them in places. But yeah, I guess you carry on doing that. Let's jump back to the 2 upstairs for a moment. And I'm just going to make a quick roll. Lin, you have obviously slept with many people before. But Sir Aubrey is definitely one of those types that seems to just want to carry on. And he's not climaxing, but also he's not, going down now, especially now that he's on top of you.
Okay, well, in that case, I need to up the ante and get a bit of oral action in there, especially as that puts my teeth close to his. I will work this man and tell he's at his most vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Which for a man is obviously at a specific moment in time.
Let me just double check how much that is.
It's the hard choices you make.
This is just foreplay for the big boss fight.
Yeah, okay. So you kind of start pushing away a little bit so he can pull out and then maybe kind of go more onto all fours. But as he kind of works out what you're doing, he pulls you back in and says, "No, carry on. Make a power roll."
That is gonna be a pass.
Okay. You feel the grip on your mind get stronger. He is very much taking advantage of the fact that whilst obviously this is your forte, he wants to also try and make you a bit vulnerable. And he's enjoying doing this to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm kind of liking it too, but can you come already?
Right, let me just try and remember how many times he's done that. I think. Okay. So yeah, he's still wanting you to carry on, and again, you feel compelled to do so.
I mean, the good news is, like, this is my, what do they call it, the sanity recovery thing.
Yes.
You know, so it's only making me stronger.
Yeah, although it doesn't stack. It's just, a session of it. I mean, yeah, you can choose when to roll, whether now or later. So, let me just make a couple of rolls myself. Okay. At that point, as the Martu are busy getting people out and they start trying to maybe carry or sort of half drag people down at some point because they haven't really got, stretchers or anything to help them, all of you hear another boom, although this time it's a bit louder. And it's coming from... let me just quickly think of the direction because it's for those of you on the middle floor, it's kind of to your left. For the two of you upstairs on the desk, it's behind you, Lin.
Ah, I was rather hoping that was him dumping his load.
No, it was another explosion.
Ah, okay. Broken Giorgio.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you didn't die first round like you were expecting.
Sweet innocent Giorgio. Nothing prepares you for this, does it? I'm sorry. We normally get viewers, they've all tuned out.
You've got one.
Oh,
It's
a big hello person.
Probably Mateo or Fuke or somebody. Yeah, so the two of you upstairs, you carry on, and Aubrey's smile just gets bigger and bigger. And he says to you, "By the sounds of it, my colleague is dead. Or at least subdued enough for me to be the most superior again. Isn't that wonderful?"
It sure is. Now fuck me harder, you bitch. Or I have to make you my bitch.
Once again, he looks at you with the sort of
Totally
sparkly
broken
eyes.
Giorgio.
Yeah.
Things you never thought you'd ever hear in a Call of Cthulhu game. Fuck me harder, bitch, or I'll have to make you mine. I just
Make me a power roll.
Okay. Oh dear. I don't think I've done so well. No, it's a fail. I might. You know what? I'm going to spend 12 points of luck, so it's at least a pass.
You're gonna need better than a pass, I'm afraid.
Oh, fuck. Did it have to be this roll? Because it's way off. That would leave me with 12 luck to turn that to a hard. Can I
It's
push
good.
the roll?
No, because it's opposed. I'm just actually wondering if it's an extreme even. It's borderline. Let me just bring up a
Better to have
calculator.
12 luck than be
Well,
under control of.
I'm just thinking because there's not really much point in wasting it. So that's
I couldn't stretch to extreme. I actually don't have enough luck for that.
it's not quite an extreme, but at the same time, his power is going to be more than yours.
Is this a situation where I, like, if I don't do this, I'm down because like this is like almost all my luck.
No, it's not going to be. You're not going to go down, but you can't really not fail with the amount of luck you've got, so you might as well keep it. However, I can't find the blooming thing now. Where is it?
I think my epic dice rolling of last week has definitely left the building, hasn't it? Even my dice, like what I've chosen to do with my character. That's what this is. It's not just the YouTube content policy and all the viewers that are tuning out. It's my dice.
Okay. Okay, so he looks at you now with a bit of a grimace, in that you've obviously pissed him off a little bit.
What?
And
Really?
well, yeah, for
Oh, I can't do anything wrong.
and he says, "I will fuck you harder, but only because I decide." And as he does so, you feel your mind is kind of a little bit freer now, but you feel something sucking out of you, and you lose 3 magic points.
Oh. Okay, you're supposed to be putting stuff in me, not taking it out.
Those of you on the middle floor, you've been there now for about 20 minutes with the R2 coming in and out, and maybe you're helping a little bit. But Lin has not come down, or you've not really heard much of her, unless maybe she's a bit noisy, but I don't know.
We better go rescue her.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to go upstairs.
How's Johnny doing? Is he back with us yet?
Is
Actually,
this
yeah.
still fetus shape?
By this point, I'll say that Johnny, you're feeling more pain now as you realize how tensed up you've been. But you start to loosen up, at least in your jaw, and you can talk a bit better now. And you roll over a little bit, and you realize that Huston isn't standing where he was anymore, and you kind of come up a little bit, and presumably if you're still in the same place, you just see him on the floor.
prod him.
He's definitely gone.
I stand up slowly and I look him right in the eye as I stamp on him.
Nice. I would like you though to make me a D6 roll.
4.
Oh, back to 4. Wasn't that the same one you rolled last time?
Yeah, I think it was. No.
Yeah.
I
forgot to get it up. Give me a minute.
I'd rolled, I think, there was a 4 at one point, and then there was a 3. It was either a 3 or a 5. But I think it was a 5.
And then there was the time there was the other dice roll, wasn't there?
Okay, no, it's fine. That's fine. I've got it. So your luck goes up to 90, and various other things, as you know. So yeah, at this point, you can all make listen rolls, apart from Lin.
Okay.
Should I make noise generation rolls?
No. Close, but no.
That's a pass. I can make it a hard pass if I needed.
No, you don't need to.
She's that noisy.
That's an extreme from me.
Oh, okay.
Which is probably a very good indication of what I'm hearing as well.
Yeah, so Kuparr and Johnny, you can both hear this rhythmical thumping coming from the floor above.
My God, he's beating her in time to his music.
No, there's no music you can hear. Just a rhythmical thumping that occasionally gets a bit faster. With the extreme,
he's got drums in there.
You can work out what it is. Especially you, John, with your extreme.
We have to rescue the bad guy from Lin.
No. Isn't that always the case, though? Rescue the bad guy from Francoise or... yeah, so, Johnny, you are because of what you've rolled on the D6, you've got a better idea now of not just where you work. It's not like you get amnesia whenever you do this, but you know where you are in terms of, you know, familiarity and like orientation and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know that there was some either level or set of buildings that were being blasted into down to, again, your left. Or unless you turned around, actually, it'd be your right at this point. And you know that they were working on stuff up there and maybe, you know, digging deeper or something like that. And the booms are definitely coming from there. But you do also hear the sound of like a command being shouted. It's far enough away that you can't hear exactly what's being said, but with an extreme, I'll say that it sounds like someone shouting orders. And they're not that far away, as in not enough to be, you know, by the blast.
They're still digging down there, and I sort of point in the general direction. They're still, I can hear them. Someone barking orders, someone telling them something, possibly in Spanish. Well, I don't recognize it, so it may as well be Spanish. He's got a very commanding tone of voice.
Actually, you have probably come across him. His voice is basically one of the foremen or the line walkers, and you know that they have this commanding effect over groups of people. But you had a feeling, certainly with your time here, that all the people had been through severe amounts of torture to the point where some of them you thought had already died. But then suddenly they were going to work, you know, digging and so on.
It's one of the foremen. Definitely. Gonna be stamping more than your head.
Perhaps we should get
Screaming down at Huston again.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we should get Lin and get out of here then.
Yeah, Lin first, and then we will deal with whoever is barking orders.
Okay. And to that, let's take a short break.
Alrighty.
Hello.
Hello.
Slurp.
Ooh.
Just figured I needed more head.
What beer is it tonight then?
Well, this is actually me doing Jason a favour because he wants to drink less beer, so I thought I'd better start drinking it. This is Fall Out the Sky by a company called Rivington Brewing Co. They describe it as
quite good,
a
actually.
happy little pale. Tastes right.
Yeah, but we all know that you have like 3 different ratings for beer. The first one is old man's drink, second is it's all right, and third is it's liquid sex robot.
There is a. Oh, I quite like that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Which is basically a 3.5 then for you.
Yeah.
And I've got Lucy Goes West, which very
Same company or?
No, it's Devil's Peak Brewery. This one, which is Scotland. That's the one.
I don't know
And
where
it's
this
somewhere
term
nice.
is.
Bristol, I think.
Don't know. I think it says.
Well, anyway, so are all 3 of you heading up the stairs?
Yes.
Well, I am.
Yep.
Weapons ready.
Yes.
I have to
Weapons
say,
ready.
like, Lynn is getting bored of this position, so I'm gonna. Well, she's gonna ask if he knows the Kama Sutra at all. Because Lynn does, and she has some suggestions.
I have read something regarding the Kama Sutra. Why do you
Good.
ask?
But I think it's time to try some more positions. So let us make use of the rug and do the swan, perhaps.
Were you hearing my record earlier?
Let's put me in the mood.
Perhaps we should put it on again.
Just get on the damn rug.
When he kind of waits for you to get off the table and comes back down, but when you say that, he does try and push you to the ground again, as if you've annoyed him.
No, I'll take this moment to throw him to the ground, kung fu style.
Okay, it's going to be an opposed brawl.
Okay, well, I'm going to use kung fu.
Yes,
Throw him to the floor, please.
Oh God, that's only a pass. God, my dice hate me.
Throw him to the floor.
Oh, but no, you can't push on an opposed roll, can you?
It's did you say you had a pass because he's
I
failed?
pass. Oh, good. It works.
Okay, roll your damage.
6.
Whoa.
Yeah, my biggest damage. I really throw him to the floor hard.
Yeah. So, yeah, you kind of. Yeah. I can't add. Rather subtract. Yeah, the wind comes out of him a little bit, and he's actually quite startled at your strength. But when he kind of comes around a bit, he's even more angry.
Not waiting for that. I'm getting back on him.
No, as in, not getting up, but as in he's a bit dazed. So he sort of shakes his head a little bit and comes around mentally, is what I meant. I mean, you can get on if you want, but
Yeah, I'm
he's
going
not
for the
very
swan.
happy with you.
I said swan. We're going for swan.
Okay, fine. We're going for Swan then.
She flipped him for the bird.
Yes, I know.
I throw him into the position, causing harm, carry on, and then we go to a new position and I cause him harm.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Okay, so what I'll say is that the rest of you kind of take a turn to get up there.
Just as someone who's never read it, on what page of the Kama Sutra is the death by 1,000 cuts? just inquiring minds need to know.
Let's see how angry you've made him. He is a god of men, after all.
Yeah, but I'm the god of the nocturnal act, so good fucking luck there. Also, not a man.
Yeah, all right, Eowyn. Yeah, all right. Okay. Okay, he's not going to do that. However, let me think. Let me think. I need to check the calendar. No, we're not quite there yet, are we? No, it's fine. It's fine. I've had luck. It's not quite there. Okay. Let's. Let's go with that. He's not fucking around anymore, as it were. So with a snarl and clenched teeth, he arches his back a little bit and he pulls his neck back as if he's pointing right up to the ceiling and away from you, and shouts in. You think it's the mythos language. You think it's some ancient language, and he also gesticulates a bit with his arms. I would like you to make me a power roll, please.
That's a little better. Can I spend 3 points of luck to make it a hard pass?
You certainly can.
Okay.
God damn it. Okay, there's nothing if... No, okay. So it's something different. You do know that, and he's getting very visibly angry with you, and you feel this sort of blurriness in your eyes for a bit. But after a couple of blinks, it seems like whatever he's done, it's just not quite doing its job. Maybe because he's a bit hurt or something.
Okay, well, obviously you need to shut him up, so I'm going to sit on his face.
Okay, well, before you can react to that, Kuparr, Mitch, and Johnny burst in, and you see Lin about to sit on this guy's face, whom you've not actually seen yet, and also you probably won't see his face for a while. So for all you know, he could be anybody. But Kuparr and Mitch, since you've got your guns loaded, if you're going to take a shot, you can act first before Johnny.
I mean, I don't know who I'm shooting. I'm not shooting Lin. I'm just holding my gun and going,
Well, yeah, we're a little bit nonplussed by the scene before us. Well, we're rescuing people and killing bad guys. Lin's enjoying herself.
do you need some more time?
Shoot him! I say, getting on his face.
And how exactly are they supposed to do that?
Well, I mean, his abdomen and his lower half are not covered by Lin's.
Supposed to cock
Limbs.
block, not cock shot.
I mean, you are sitting on his
Well,
face, so
well-
where am I supposed to shoot?
Well, at
You're
the
only
moment-
giving us one head to shoot at.
At the moment, where you've come into the room and basically there's this big rug. They're both on the rug in front of you, but in terms of where they're positioned, Lin is facing the three of you, and this guy's head is really all you can see at the moment. So you'd at least have to come round if you wanted to, actually put some bullets in him. You could try and shoot him in the head, but that's a bit.
No,
Precarious.
I'm not. I'm moving aside, trying not to stare, but to get a clear shot out of the man.
Well, here's the thing. I hate to break it to you in simple terms, but we kind of have to stare. If for no other reason than we need to know not. We need to be able to look so we know where not to shoot.
So I'm trying to do that nonchalantly.
So you know how you were saying, with seducing one of the bad guys, that's really original. I don't think that is, but
I doubt it.
this thing, yes. I've never heard of a bad guy in Cthulhu getting face sapped to death. No. What about the other two? Are you also
Timothy hour.
staring nonchalantly?
Oh,
No, I am heading over because he is in a prone position, and I feel the need to stamp him on the head. Not the head that's currently being sat on. I'm going to stamp him in his crotch.
Yes, I got that.
I'd go for a soft target if I were you.
I'll move to the
It'll be
opposite.
soft, and it'll be soft momentarily. I can assure you.
I'll move to the opposite side, to the Mitch, so we can both fire at the same time.
Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, I was half convinced that you would all die fairly quickly in this.
I was absolutely convinced. Like, the whole shagging him was purely to buy time for the others to get up. But
But
Here we
no,
are.
it's not gone into complete carnage. Instead, it's just gone into complete and utter stupidity. Okay.
We have decided. We simply decided that rather than make this 18 rated, we're just going the whole hog, triple X. Go
Oh, it's
for it.
more. Yeah, I was gonna say it's more than that at this point. Holy fuck. Okay, so I believe those of you who are shooting him are going to get 2 bonus dice
Oh, bonus dice.
because prone and point blank.
With a rifle from about 3 feet.
Yeah. Johnny, you're still gonna get. Well, actually, no. I'll give you a bonus die as well for your brawl roll. Because why the fuck not?
Exactly.
I'll get the choking rules ready just in case.
Extreme, mate.
I was going to say, so it's mine, 04.
So I get a bonus die on my brawl.
Well, you gave us 2 dice, 2 extra dice.
I know that's the rules. Oh god, I'm so gone.
This guy just got obliterated.
I'm so gone.
I am going to spend 15 luck
Mm-hmm.
to make my attack an extreme and all.
Okay.
I don't believe that was necessary.
Yeah,
Well,
but you know
I-
what Ronnie's like with punching people to death or something.
But I was unaware of just how brilliant your shots were going to be at the time I stamped them. So, because it's all kind of happening simultaneously.
Okay.
It's kind of looking like a scene from the film Goodfellas. Or I don't think Martin Scorsese came up with this scenario ever.
Go on then, roll your damage, put me out of my misery.
Well, we're
So
not
what is-
putting,
what was that?
his.
What is that again for?
For
That's
an
the-
impale, so
No,
with
no,
a
what is
bullet, it is the maximum amount of damage on your dice or
Okay.
die, plus an extra dice or die.
I rolled a 20, mate.
Okay, so that's 12 plus.
For Johnny, it's just maximum damage with your brawl.
Oh, is that all?
Yes, because
Oh,
you're
that's
not
annoying.
shooting; it's just stamping.
I got
7
15.
points then from me.
Oh no, 7 points. Oh god, what will you do? 20 and what, Kuparr?
15.
42.
42 points.
I told you. I said it. I said in the contest. I said in the comments. 3 men were about to come in and cause a coitus interruptus, and we have done some. We have done so at.
Okay, just so I can at least get some satisfaction out of this, I would like. a
We
group
don't want
luck-
him to have any satisfaction out of this. We want him to die.
I want a group luck roll, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake, mate.
Well, either going to kill him or really upset him.
Oh, that's a pass. 42
Okay.
out of 46. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's a pass.
You rolled 42.
Yes.
That's how much damage he took.
No, it isn't.
Oh no! I'm so sorry, mate. I'm genuinely sorry.
I know. I love
I'm
you
not
too.
in the least bit sorry.
They're not, but I appreciate you are. Okay. Actually, no, you're only saying that because you're playing in Heartless in Loveland with me after this.
Yes, but no.
Anyway, so Lin and Johnny, as this is happening in front of my poor defenseless eyes, you hear the sound of panic again outside, a little bit closer this time. But interestingly, Johnny, you hear this foreman the most of all, and it's him who's panicking, you think. Like he's trying to bark out more orders, you think, but in a much more, raised, shrill voice than he was before.
You hear him? The foreman. He's sounding very agitated. He's screaming out orders, but he's not calm. He's not. Yeah, he's sounding scared. He's sounding worried.
Anyway,
He's
poke this
Yep.
head I'm sat on, just to make sure it's dead.
Sure, you
Okay.
poke him, and from the rest of your positions, you basically see him ejaculate,
Finally.
but he doesn't move
Okay.
any further.
Phil and I were just nodding at the same time. Oh yes, that was about to happen because
I
of
couldn't
course.
resist. I couldn't resist.
well,
So,
I mean,
I
it's
figure after having a
physiologically
little, I think after having a little death, he deserves a little death.
also is physiologically accurate.
wait. Yeah, so you're now alone in this room, and
He came and went.
yes. Now that you're obviously in here, you can see a bit more of what there is. Behind Lin and who was Sir Aubrey, before his manhood was taken from him, there is this quite nice looking desk, but lots of stuff that you think was on it has been pushed off maybe or dropped to the floor. Behind that, a little bit further in, there are much longer benches. And in fact, I'll say that, Johnny, you kind of recognize this place. The long bench in particular, they're almost like operating tables or something similar. And
Is
they're
this where
definitely
they?
Huston like to experiment on people.
Is this where they experimented on me?
You definitely remember being in here. You can't fully remember though whether it was yourself or whether you were forced to watch other people being experimented on and suffering.
At this point, I kind of turn round at again and just start kicking him. Last laugh now, you last
Hang
laugh.
on. Let me get off. His teeth are in me.
Oh, love it. Last bite.
I'm touching Lina clothes if I can find them laying around.
Yeah, they're basically next to the desk, I guess they would be.
I think they're in the other room, actually, but yeah.
Yeah, or maybe in the other room, but it doesn't take long to find. You kind of go into this modest eating area on your right, and yeah, you find her things, and you see the gramophone, so you presume that was what was playing earlier.
I quite nonchalantly get dressed. I mean, I don't feel the need for modesty. I've seen it all.
We may never unsee it.
Beg your pardon? I at least have not.
Are we going to have a look around the room, or are we investigating the blasts that we heard earlier?
Well,
You're muted, Phil.
I think we should have a quick check around, see if we can find out what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the problem is that the time might be against us, but we could have a quick look around. Divide and conquer. Everyone take a bit of the room.
Okay. Who's going west? There's the sort of small eating area. There's this main area with like benches at the back and various bits in different corners, and then there's another much smaller room which looks a bit like a bedroom.
Yeah, I'd rather.
There isn't a shower in here, no.
I'd rather have a look at the documents, if any, laying around and on the desk.
Okay, yeah.
Try not to get any of them to stick on my hands.
I'll check at the bedroom
Okay.
because clearly nothing ever happened in there.
Indeed.
I'll check out the eating area then.
Okay.
More importantly, I don't want to go near that area.
Yes,
with mention of
absolutely.
everything.
Yes. Okay, let me just have a quick double check. Oh, where is that? Ooh, okay, yes, cool. So that's there. Lin, obviously you're getting dressed. Is there anywhere else specific you want to look, or are you just kind of waiting for the others to finish, as it were?
Oh, I'll have a little poke around, but I think Lin kind of wants a cigarette now. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, I think Lin wants like a cigarette or something.
Well, I mean, it's the 20s. You can smoke indoors.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
You take some cigarettes out of your very small underwear and just strike the match on your body. Yeah, I don't know.
Get my clothes back together and have a cigarette, and I'll generally poke around the area, but
okay, right.
My heart's not really in it. I'm a little tired.
That's fair. Okay.
One might even say knackered.
Yeah, all right. So let's start off with the Eatery. So Kuparr, you go in and you can see that there's like a window that is a bit open. And actually, come to think of it, the record probably still be playing, but never mind. There's not really much that's happened in here apart from you can see near to the gramophone there is this straight razor and some shaving cream and a little basin and a mirror. But yeah, it's again modest. There's a small cooker, you think, or something of the sort. But there's not really anything of interest in there apart from that. With the bedroom, it's a similar situation in that you are absolutely right. Nothing has really happened in there. It looks a little messy, but around the walls, I'll say that there are several large paintings from what you have heard about this Black Pharaoh from investigators past. All in various regal-looking poses and things like that. And actually, I'll say that one of them is Sir Aubrey, as a kind of an Egyptian pharaoh-looking figure. And you see that he's... Yeah, okay, I'll say that he's sort of riding a chariot along the Nile, along this parade area with these, lovely trees and things, and people are bowing down to pray. And, obviously it's fabricated in that it's been painted. But you start wondering, given what he was saying earlier to Huston about, well, rather what Huston was saying to him about going along the Nile and stuff, maybe it's based off something that really did happen, even though looking at the painting, it's not in modern Egypt. You don't think you can't see anything modern there. Just something to ponder. Lin, you go over to a corner of the room that the others haven't really bothered to go looking at, and you notice two things of interest. One is a sort of metal cap shaped a bit like a dunce cap, quite tall, that's just sort of sitting on a little
hat.
desk. Yeah, the big sort of pointed dunce caps they used to make kids wear. It looks a bit like that, basically, but it's metal. And there's also these three protruding wires.
Oh god,
coming
it's
out
going to
of
be a Yithian thing, isn't it? Right, we'll pick that up because we can use it on the foreman.
Okay, no worries.
I don't know.
Nearby, kind of more towards the door, you also see a rather dusty, wooden-looking clock, but quite a big, like a grandfather clock, almost.
Is it set to the local time?
Do you open the case or give it a little rub or something?
Or is it so dusty I can't see the clock face?
It's a little bit askewed, yeah.
Okay, I'll open it.
Okay.
Open the glass front.
The first thing you notice about it is it definitely looks incredibly technical for a clock. It's not just a grandfather clock. And it's definitely, well, I mean, do you have a pocket watch, come to think of it? Because you don't really have any other source of the time.
I guess Mitch would. I mean, it's possible I would, because I come from quite a wealthy family, don't I? So
True.
maybe. I don't know. It's not a detail I've ever thought about.
You can give me a luck roll if you want. If you want to
Sure.
gamble it.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it doesn't really go with your stature and the way you hold yourself. So maybe Mitch has got something you don't know, but yeah, it suddenly dawns on you that
I'll
you don't
shout to
actually know what
Mitch.
time it is.
Mitch, what is time?
Let me see. What's a time?
The time is, let's say, The time is 2 o'clock in the morning. And let's say just after 2 in the morning, actually, because that seems a bit artificial. The clock is definitely not saying 2 o'clock in the morning. It is saying just after 6 o'clock.
Is it again timed on Greenwich time, like the other clock that we met? The other clocks that we met.
You can make a no roll or a science astronomy roll to confirm, but that hunch definitely goes to your head.
Won't be Greenwich.
That's
but
a
yeah,
regular no roll. No roll success.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else gonna roll?
Oh, sure. Yes. I mean, it's the first thing I thought of, but okay.
I
I
don't think-
got
I don't-
possibly quite a good roll there. Hang on. No. It's no there. Extreme.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I didn't think any of you had science astronomy, but just wanted to make sure. Yeah, Mitch, you think it's obviously, it's not the time, but you're not entirely sure exactly if it is Greenwich or not. But yeah, Lynn, you definitely know that it's Greenwich Meridian time, 8 hours behind.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because I nearly went there for my education. Changed my mind because better scholars in Shanghai.
Meanwhile, Mitch, you've been poking around the desk. A lot of the stuff is fortunately on the floor and therefore not sticky.
Oh, thank God.
But let me just check if there's anything useful that's kind of been on the desk, more if it's in the desk. I think it might just be in the drawer, but let me have a look. Oh, that's true. There are those. Okay, I'll say these first. So, adjacent to the desk on this left wall, there's basically these various desks and shelves, and there are all these document cases just heaped against the wall on these desks. You think maybe even hundreds, possibly. There are absolutely loads of them just kind of piled up. And yeah, I mean, not really sure what's in there unless you bother to kind of go and have a look. But they don't look dusty like the chronometer. Certainly, they look like they've been used recently. In the desk itself, when you open this drawer, you notice that there's a .45 revolver in there. There is a rather large sort of copper bowl that's etched with interesting runes. And you also see this rather large manuscript, although it's not like an actual book bound sort of situation. It's more just kind of bound paper. And it does appear to be handwritten. Also, there's a cupboard to this drawer that you can open, and you find another lightning gun.
Okay. If the others are coming back to the room after looking at the room they were checking, I hand over the lightning gun to Lin.
Oh, I think this is a big hint from the GM that we're going to need more firepower.
Everybody needs a revolver.
I don't currently have one.
No, but you got a blimkin rifle. I mean, come on. What about poor Johnny?
Well,
I mean, if he doesn't have firepower, I'm giving the revolver to him.
Mm-hmm.
I will take the revolver. Thank you very much.
And I'll be bringing the copper bowl with us.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to make anything out of the engravings? You said they were more like runes than an actual alphabet.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely more like runes. Yeah, you can definitely make me a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
Okie dokie. Of course. No. No clue.
You think maybe you've seen similar in this place as in the whole kind of city, but then you start thinking maybe your brain's just making patterns and you can't just assume, so you're not really sure what it's for. And again, he may have acquired it from somewhere else for all you know.
Okay. I'm taking it, and the manuscript as well.
Yes, it's rather thick.
Hmm.
It's over 500 pages long.
Jesus. Is there some sort of title or anything?
Yes, there is actually.
It's called To There and Back Again, a Hobbit's Tale.
No, it's not. It's called Gods of Reality.
Okay, so I am assuming that's some sort of memoir or one of those two shitheads.
Oh, I beg your pardon as well. There's also a letter that's on the floor from where Lin kind of pushed them off. Because my webcam isn't working with Expert properly, I don't have the handouts, but I can certainly send it in the chat if you want and read it.
Hmm. You could also read it for us. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so it's actually I'll just read it out, why not? So you recognize the handwriting as Gavagan's, and it's dated earlier in 1925. Let's say sort of early January 1925, from Mayfair in London. And it says, "Dear Huston, old chap, how go the excavations? And more importantly, how are the preparations proceeding for the big event? I'm not sure how much help Al-Shakti and his bunch in Cairo are likely to be. They are far more focused on taking over their own past than looking to the future. Still, as long as you keep things up at your end, I'm sure everything will be well. Don't forget, Sir Aubrey is expecting a progress report from you by the end of the month. You know he doesn't like to be kept waiting. Happy digging, E.G."
Okay. And presumably it was kept waiting since they're still digging, as far as we know.
Well, as in he's not looking forward to be kept waiting for a progress report. Maybe not the digging as a
Okay.
whole. By this point, the panicked raucous down below appears to have stopped, or at least mostly stopped. There's a bit of reverberation or echoing, perhaps, but it's very much died down.
Okay, it's about time we got our troops together and then face the big bad god that'll come up in the final encounter.
Yes, indeed.
But you're going to still take the manuscript with you, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that doesn't turn out to be important at all, does it?
I'm just asking because Giorgio did suggest he was going to take it.
So we're going into the final encounter carrying all this stuff.
Okay.
If nothing else, if we run out of bullets and all the rest, a 500-page manuscript, we could just hit the old god over the head with it. We should have enough heft to do some damage.
Paper.
500 pages of paper is heavy.
Yeah, that's...
Well, it is if you can keep it together, but...
Yeah.
Excuse me. Right, hold on a moment. So you're kind of vacating then the building. Yeah, but it's packed into another bit of paper, isn't it?
No, that's 500 pages.
Got some heft.
Okay, so you all make your way out of the wooden building, and Kuparr, give your spot hidden a tick if it isn't already. You can't help but notice in the perimeter of lights near to this building, you see well, not a glint, but it just kind of stands out a bit. You see a bit more of that blue cable, you think, that you saw running along the wall from the dome, and you can see where it's going. If you were coming up from that dome, it's basically going off to, I think it's just the left, is it? Actually, no, it's more of a 10 o'clock from there rather than a direct left. But it definitely seems to be going along a specific row of lights.
Taxi, follow that cable.
Okay, so
Yeah, I mean, it's only fair.
this is going to happen after all. How wonderful. I was kind of expecting you to miss this, but actually it's quite suitable for the end of the session, so that's cool.
You mean end of the campaign?
Oh, yeah, and that too, and that too.
Follow the cable, TPK. TPK, this way, neon sign.
Okay. So you follow this cable, and then after turning a corner for a bit, it then takes a sharp left. There's still lights though, so it's fine. And you start noticing there are much more grey walls decorated with symbols and runes in particular. And also the walls are of a nicer quality than maybe just sort of rock or maybe weathered a bit by sandstone. And oh, hold on, let me just check. I don't think so, but no, okay, fine. Basically, as you go in, there's a room that you go into, which you think does go into another room a bit further along, but just so you kind of get an idea of what's in here. It's quite well lit. Oh, but actually, no, beg your pardon, it's thoroughly lit. There is a various load more electric lighting that comes through here. And there's various jumbles of parts and crates. Yeah, lots of spare parts in here, basically. From what you can kind of see going into the second room from your perspective, it seems to go into a bigger room that's more open. Interesting as well, the floor is different. It's not wood or anything like that. It's proper stone. It's kind of like that hexagonal flooring that you saw once before under the dust, but this one's actually kind of, it's not clean, but there's no swathes of dust all over it either. Like, it's quite visible.
Okay, I assume we are going further down into this more open area.
Yeah, we've come this far. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no point in turning back now. We still have a job to do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. So the second room doesn't do that. The second room, it is indeed a bit more open. It's a good 40 feet across this one, so more kind of in the scale of everywhere else. There's a large black control board of sorts. There's lots of knobs and dials and things on it. There's various lights and gauges and stuff on it. And interestingly, one portion of the control board is open. So for those of you with mechanical repair or at least a little bit of knowledge, there's sort of wiring that's come out a little bit, dangling and things like that. It's quite obvious, though, if you don't have mechanical repair, that it looks a bit broken, that it's not all in place. There's also a typical sort of psychiatrist's couch in here. And although more sinisterly so, connected to this couch, there is another kind of headset. It's not quite the same as the one that Lin found. It's much more elaborate than that. And again, various sort of handheld controls on it and knobs and things. Although it does appear to be connected to this central control device. And there is also an archway into a third room, although from the sort of general lighting, it looks a little darker in there than it does in here and the previous room. You can all make me listen rolls, actually.
Nope. Can't hear shit.
Pass.
Pass.
Okay, 3 passes. So those of you who've passed, you hear a rhythmical noise.
Not me this time.
But it's not Lin, and it's much quieter, and it's almost like a mix between a gentle cooing and flapping. Like not like wings or feathered wings flapping, more of something maybe skin or something
Bats.
rubbery.
Like a flying fucking octopus.
Well, there's
So
bats down
Aubrey
there,
in
you
a
know,
gift suit.
I have the
sort of
lightning
rhythmical.
camera out.
You get the camera out, okay? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree. This feels like it's a monster of some kind.
I
Also
will
going to
draw.
get a camera out.
I will draw my revolver. Not that I can do much with it, but
Mhm.
you know, I've got my other weapons just in case. But
It's Cthulhu. You want your weapon out just so you can run away faster.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And why are you armed, sir? It's very simple. I'm going to shoot everyone else in the leg so they get caught and I don't.
It's why you answer. To raise myself in initiative order.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got that by now. Okay, so you more slowly, I guess, move into this third room through this rather elaborate-looking archway. And yeah, you half expect to see a monster of sorts. But the first thing you see is this rather large electrical current, possibly, or maybe a field that's blocking off about half of the room. And it's more of a kind of a cone-shaped ceiling, this room. So it kind of like this rather than more flat or even domed. But on the other side of this electrical field is something which at least a couple of you have read about, and past characters have either exchanged minds with or spoken to, in that you see this huge cone-shaped creature of extraterrestrial nature. It's got these huge, almost lobster claws, 3 big red eyes that are mostly shut, you think, and these sort of tendrils in front of its face that are just gently flapping. You think it might be sleeping. Now, for those of you who've not seen a Yithian before, aka got used to the awfulness, which I believe is just Johnny, can I have a sanity roll from you, please?
I
Oh,
don't believe
did-
I
Oh.
see one either.
I
Did my
passed.
earlier encounter change my sanity at all?
What, with the sort of other creature with the combat thing?
No, the indulging in my
Mm.
what do you call it?
Oh yeah, in your circs.
Do I,
That's
do
the
I
point.
still need to? Sorry.
Yeah, so you get a d6 back of sanity for your sex.
Uh-huh. Oh, nice comeback D6.
Do I still need to make a sanity check as well?
You do, but the way it works with your thing is you can't lose more than that number, which I believe was an 8.
6. I've got Yithian 3/6.
Okay, so that means that you can't lose more than 3 if you lose, you know, a substantial amount. So you still need to roll a sanity roll.
I failed my stand roll.
You failed.
Unsurprisingly failed.
Okay,
Passed.
passed.
Yeah, I barely passed.
Okay, those of you who pass lose 1 sanity. It's obviously a bit of a shock to you, but given again, you've heard about it and read about it. You recognize what it is. Okay, so Johnny, you lose 3, unfortunately, but you can't lose more than 3 at least. That's a silver lining. Oh, Kuparr.
Yes.
This creature and the way its anatomy is structured, even if it's in a sleeping position, it's something that you cannot think to comprehend. It's something far beyond anything you've heard about in the dream time, anything that you've heard in stories. And your brain kind of tries to turn the cogs. Can I have an intelligence roll, please?
Intelligence, you can. Yep, that is a extreme. That's an 11.
That is not what you wanted.
Oh dear.
At all. So you're going to lose 6 sanity.
6.
That's what I rolled. Yeah, I'm afraid it was the maximum amount because I rolled a d6 and I got a 6. So I'd like you to give me a d100.
23.
23. Okay. What is everyone's sizes, please?
60.
Same.
Size. What the fuck is it? 65.
Mine's 50.
Oh, okay. You're actually smaller than everybody else. That's interesting. I thought you'd be kind of taller or maybe a bit more muscular. Okay, in that case, Kuparr, you're going through a bout of madness. So you've obviously seen a lot being down in these caves and these tunnels and whatever. And you've tried to hold your nerve as much as you can. But seeing this thing just here, whether it's sleeping, whether it's behind a field or not, you don't care. And you cannot help but flee in panic.
Okay.
So you start
Nope,
fleeing through the other rooms, and we'll deal with you in a moment and see whereabouts you go.
Can I just state that I started with 15 sanity and I've just lost 3. That's 20%.
You have, yes. That's very true. I mean, technically, you're indefinitely insane anyway. What I'll say, if you give me a d6 roll, if you roll a 1, then you can avoid that. Because again, I don't want to do more than we have to.
I did not roll a 1.
Okay. What did you roll?
I rolled a 2.
A 2. Not quite that. Why am I looking at the wrong document?
It was 1 off a 1.
Okay. Okay. What I'll say to kind of keep the agency up, as Becky would say, is you're not going to go into a full bout of madness, but you don't feel particularly inclined to stay here if possible. And seeing Kuparr flee, I'll allow you the choice of whether you want to stay where you are at the minute, or maybe keep an eye on Kuparr and try and follow him.
I'll make sure he's okay.
Okay, no worries. All right, we'll deal with you in a moment then. So Mitch, with your 65. So the two of you who are left after Kuparr runs out, maybe with causing a bit of noise, this creature starts stirring and its 3 eyes pop open fully. And taking a very quick look at you, it immediately picks up this strange metal spiky device, which looks almost like some weird collar, possibly. But rather than put it around itself or something else, it just holds it in a big lobster claw. And it starts to light up with this quite blinding white light. And there are these electrical shards that start coming off it. But for you, Mitch, they almost immediately go quiet again. And you start hearing a voice in your head. And you presume it's this creature trying to speak to you. and it says to you, I would very much appreciate it if you can get over what I look like and set me free.
I beg your pardon. How the hell are you doing this?
Well, I'm speaking in a mammalian tongue, am I not? You're not a deaf creature, are you? I
No,
suppose
I'm not
it's quite
deaf,
hard to tell.
and even if I was, you are speaking in my head. That's what I'm asking.
Well, of course.
I
What
look
else am I
over at
supposed to
Lin.
communicate with you? I don't have a mouth. Not one like yours, anyway.
I look over at Lin and ask if she can hear anything.
No.
This thing is talking. Can't you hear anything?
I don't hear fuck.
By the way, what was your request again?
I didn't realize that your memories were getting that short term. I said to set me free, stupid.
Is acting like a little bit of a cunt. Set you free, and you're asking a stupid one to do so. You must be desperate.
No, I'm just stating a fact. You're humans. Of course you're... Well, what would you like me to use? Challenged?
Question: do I
Dumb?
see Mitch talking to himself?
I'll say yes.
Yeah, see, I think he's gone insane as well, and like everybody around me has at this moment gone insane. So I'm gonna slap Mitch because it's the 1920s. It's the only way I know how to get somebody out of a bout of madness.
The
I slap her
promiscuous one
back.
is
What
being
the
most
fuck?
amusing.
Come on, you've got to get yourself together.
I am
Look,
together.
I
I'm
can...
speaking with this thing.
No, you're not. Come on,
Yes,
wake up.
yes. He's speaking to me.
No,
Seriously.
She,
he's
thank
not.
you. We do still have pronouns in our species.
Oh, sorry. She is speaking to me.
No,
I
you're
might have
it.
fucked up.
You're mad. Take a rest.
I
Would
suppose
you
I could
mind look
penetrate
over
both of your
for
minds if you
Kuparr?
won't shut up.
Sorry, both at once. I didn't hear a thing.
Right, go on, Giorgio.
No, I was asking Ling if she wanted to look after Kuparr.
I don't think you should be left alone while you're acting mad.
Then shut up for a second. Is there any way you could speak to the both of us so that she doesn't think I'm mad because I'm speaking to myself?
If your puny comprehension desires. And she kind of twists it a little bit, this device that she's holding. And then she takes this overhanging wire and attaches it. So now there's more, essentially. And you feel the same sensation in your head, Lin. And this creature says, now that I have both of your attention, you apes, I would like you to set me free. I'm more than happy to give you the instructions, since obviously you will not comprehend on earth how.
Now I'm going mad too.
Yeah, welcome to the madhouse. Again, set you free, what would imply that you go back to your peers? Or what?
At some point, yes. But as you can see, I can't go very far. And there's a lot of research I have to do. You see, I'm a scientist. And as you can probably tell, I'm not in here of my own doing.
Oh, you are beaten by humans.
No.
Were you how would you say that? Were you called here and then stuck?
No, I was not called here, because if I was, I would ignore them. No, what happened was, I believe, this Dr. Huston, who I believe is actually dead from what I've read recently, but
Oh, he fucked.
What you read
I-
recently that just happened.
well, yes, I do daily read his mind, and then I have a little sleep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's fucked.
Yes, thank you. I was saying that I already knew. I believe he used a spell in order to pull me here from my time. I suppose you would call it a time trap spell or something similar. But what I'm intending to do, and fairly close to it, is essentially make a reverse version of the spell in order to take me back there. But
Mhm.
in order for me to do that, I need to access the libraries that are still left in this place.
Okay. One question though. Is there any way you could answer a couple of questions before we send you back to your time?
Well, given how young and ephemeral you are and how old I am and how I already know the future and how it's going to unfold anyway, I suppose I can wait a few more minutes.
Player talking. Do we know about the library? Because I don't recall.
Not really, no. I mean, you've looked around a few different places, but you've not come across a library specifically down here.
Okay. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask Miss Ethian. This place was described to us, as far as we know, as a city where the likes of you lived in a
That is
long
correct.
lost past. Okay.
I am
So
impressed.
you would know where the library is
Oh, come on,
because we have
that's...
no clue.
Of
That-
course I know
am.
where it is.
Okay.
How did you not work that out earlier, Mitch? Honestly.
Oh, what a cute little human you are trying to impersonate intelligence.
What I want to know is, you think you know how and when the world ends? I'm curious to know what you think and why.
Well, I do know how it's going to end.
Okay.
Although, well, I suppose given that Huston's dead, I've not had a look into this other ape's mind who he brought here a few days ago, but I suppose I could try. But anyway, the intention was that let me see, about 4 or 5 months from now, the world would be, or rather your world, not mine at all, would be annihilated. Mine is untouchable, of course.
Okay, yes. No, all right, your information's out of date. Got it. That's all I needed to know. Just how useful you were, but apparently not very.
You do like to interrupt, don't you?
It's not
Like
my
I
fault.
said, I
You're
have.
just too arrogant.
I am not arrogant. I am stating a fact.
It's not ending in 3 months' time. Yeah, I know the date, and I give the date, and it's not going to happen.
Yes, but you don't know how it's going to end, I imagine. You've not quite pieced that together. In fact, from what I know, you barely even knew Dr. Huston or what he even was or why.
An incantation of the Black Pharaoh / Nyarlathotep / all his other names.
I'm sorry to interrupt this cat fighting, but can we go to the library while you keep arguing with each other?
No, because it's trapped.
She
She's
she
trapped
gestures at
in this time.
the force field and says nothing.
Like, did you not notice the glowing field that he can't walk through?
Oh, I thought she
I
was
would have
trapped.
left here many months ago, had this not been in the way.
No, sorry. I thought you were trapped in this time rather than in this actual place.
Both.
Yeah.
If I am pulled from a certain time period into another, then surely I am trapped there until I move.
I can't stand you already, and we met 5 minutes ago. Okay.
I really don't care. I'm not here to make a friend with an ape. I just want to get out of here. I have no interest in hurting you. I mean, you're far too weak and puny, really, but I don't really see you being of any use to me either. But since I'm inside both of your heads, I could do much worse to you. Let's put it like that, if I have to.
What's this? And I pull out the cone. It's one of your inventions, isn't it?
I'm just trying to remember which one. The one from the
The
wooden building.
dunce cap.
Yeah. She goes, "Oh no, that's not one of mine. That's a human prototype, I believe. That's one of the I suppose it is a mind controlling device of sorts, but I believe it's one that Huston tried to copy off of mine.
Ah, okay. How close was he? How does it work?
Well, looking at it, it's a rather old prototype. He's not really been so focused on that recently. He's had far more pressing matters to deal with.
Okay, but how does it work? And does it work?
Well, it is a hat, so normally humans put them on their heads. And I believe he wanted to connect it to something, but I haven't seen the control panel that he uses. It's not, I'm presuming, anything like the one in the next room.
Ah, I have. Huh.
In the brief moments of silence between these two bitching at each other, I'd like to look around the room to see if there is some sort of switch or some sort of activators for these light thingy to turn it off or
Yeah, so
something.
you notice that there's kind of to the right of the archway that you came through. There is a fuse box, which you think presumably has something to do with it, and there are kind of cables connecting. Although it's basically got a locked cover on it, and there is a combination lock.
I'm looking over at the Ethian lady or whatever. Did you see anybody using the digits on this combination lock? Do you
Of
know the
course I do.
combination of the?
Of
What's the
course I do.
combination? What's the combination then?
There's only, and she gives off, however many numbers there are to infinity. She gives you the numbers. I did say I would offer instructions if you weren't so sure. And she actually then tells you, once you open the fuse box, there's a few switches in there that you have to throw, and she tells you basically which ones to throw in which order.
Okay, before I do anything, I'll ask Lin to point the lightning camera at the Ethian so that if
Yeah.
he does anything funny.
Are you sure there's nothing we need to know? What's down the pit? At the very bottom of the city, or you might say top because you are backward.
Yeah, that was the other question. What is the lowest point of the city you could think of?
Do you mean the
Why are
purple
these
dome?
people digging down? What's down there?
They've been digging here for several years. They simply want to extract Yithian technology. They want to, well, wanted by the sounds of it, to use it as part of this great plan of theirs. But by the sounds of it, they have mostly failed. But I do know that Dr. Huston had a prototype here. And if he wasn't dead, he might have been trying to use it by now, for all I know.
Prototype of what? The mind control?
No,
something else.
No, he wants to, well, they all do, this expedition group. They want to essentially blow a hole into the universe. Over the Indian Ocean somewhere, I believe, were the coordinates for that.
Uh-huh.
And I believe they were building something more refined in Shanghai or somewhere off of Shanghai. But Houston made a prototype just in case. I believe it is just the explosive warhead.
Do you know where that is?
Well, it's not in here anymore. I believe he moved it to the lowest point, as you probably mean, as in the dome.
Ah.
He likes to keep it on display.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's going to be fun. Right. Well, I suggest you leave before it detonates. I'm going to stop it from detonating, unless I'm smarter than you. I'll probably succeed before you do your spell, but good luck.
Of course, I'm
Let her
going to
go.
leave, but I'm sure you could put a timer on it if needs be. I assume that you wanted to detonate it to blow everything up, right?
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
unfortunately, we got something to do first, and we need this place to be still
We're
after
going
we're
to
done.
dismantle the prototype, and this is why I say you were wrong about the world ending. We need to stop it.
I am not wrong about the world ending, but I do understand that time can be changed. And it sounds like you are beginning to change things.
Beginning? I thought this was the final session.
You are doing, I
Right
believe,
away.
what is called breaking the fourth wall.
Slightly, yes. No, beginning to change. Like, you've not been paying attention.
No, I have, but you have to understand that we have a much different perspective of time than you do. Your lives are a tiny blip in the universe. We have been around for thousands of your years.
Okay, great. You've got wrinkles. But
You do have a little sense of humor. I find it mildly amusing.
but if your perception of time is non-linear, then why can't you just go to a different point in your life and walk out? Why are you trapped? So
Because I was
obviously
pulled here
So
by a
obviously
spell.
you're having a linear experience of time. So our experience of time is the same.
I didn't say it wasn't linear. I just said that I already know what is going to happen unless you change it. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get out of here so I can actually get out of here properly.
But now I'm confused. Why is it only us who have the possibility of changing fate? Why is everybody else's fate sealed? These are important existential questions.
Because nobody has pursued these people like you have, it seems. Oh goodness, I was almost verging on a compliment there.
Oh, thank you. You can let go now.
And yeah, you throw the switches, the field comes down. And she lets go of the collar thing, and you feel her grip, I suppose, loosen in your minds, and she just starts floating away, like sort of out of the room without a
Evolved legs,
goodbye or
it's a
anything.
lot easier.
I mean, she hasn't got any legs.
That's why I
It's
said
just like a
evolved stuff, it'll
coat
be
thing.
easier.
You think that she's laughing, but it doesn't come out as a laugh. It's more like her tendrils sort of twitching a little bit. I could do with a quick loo, but I will be right back.
All right.
We're all going mad.
Slowly and steadily.
We'll be lucky if that's the only thing that happens to us.
I have a feeling this might not be the last session.
It's sort of shaping up that way now. What time is it?
It's 10:30. It's 25 past 10.
Oh, that's not too bad. I thought it was a bit later than that, but that's, it won't take long for Jason just to kill us off.
Well, it won't take much to kill us off.
When he said flapping and leathery skin-like wings, I thought bat. I thought sandbat. Actually.
Oh, I thought we were in for another bloody hunting horror again.
I can't believe how easy it was to take out Huston and Penhew.
I
In the
mean,
end.
we had a fuck ton of luck on that.
Yeah.
Waited and extremed all the way.
3 dice is two 3 dice is never had that before.
Right. All I will say is whilst you say it was easy to take out Penhu, would you actually have done that?
No, but it just makes me think. Then that there's something big coming up.
Yeah.
Right, sorry about that. I was desperate. So let's do a quick scene with Johnny and Kuparr, just while Becky's still in the loop. Yeah, you head to the end and you hear a little bit of conversation back in the room. There is still more kind of buildings and lines of lights to the left, which you've not been yet, or you can choose to follow the cable back where you came. I mean, Kuparr, given you're fleeing in panic, actually, let's make it random.
Okay.
Can you roll me a D4, or as long as you've got an even numbered dice or something?
4.
Okay, so you go right, which just happened to be following back, the cable and stuff. So you rush back, presumably, Johnny, you follow?
Yes, just making sure he's okay.
Okay. Oh, God, did I roll a thing? No, I didn't. Okay. So you eventually get back to that wooden building where Huston and Sir Aubrey were, and you kind of start just going back down the ramp a little bit, but then your adrenaline starts wearing off a bit. And by this point, you're actually approached by some of the Moanjan people and some of the other Martu, actually. And they almost kind of try and shake you, the Martu in particular. They, speak in your language and say, snap out of it. It's fine. We've sorted them out up there.
There's a thing back there, big thing. Eyes and flabby skin and.
What's the?
I sort of tap Kuparr sort of comfortingly on the shoulder and say, "It's his first time seeing what it's okay. It's just a little.
First time. Yeah. So they kind of shrug their shoulders a little bit and say, "There are lots of strange things down here. We have the upper hand.
You haven't seen the half of it yet.
Yeah, we must get ourselves. I heard shouting from somewhere within.
Yes, it was some of the other people. They had these deteriorating workers, but we took care of them.
We must go further down.
I thought that we had to go to this dome. We skirted around it before.
We must make sure the area is clear before we do the ritual.
Very well. Okay, in that case, which way do you go? Because yes, there is the kind of way down to where you think the purple dome is. Let's see, you've got that stuff. Okay. There is a direction kind of to your left, which basically is where the booming came from.
Yeah, that's where we're heading.
Let me finish. You don't know what else there is. There's another 2 directions, one in between that way and that way, as it were, and then another one that way, which you've not yet been down. The first one of those, the lights trail on for a little bit, but it looks a lot darker down there. So you think either they've, cut off or they've stopped working or something.
Head to the boom.
Yeah. If they're opening up lower levels, we should check for that. Definitely, yeah.
We need to make sure that those are clear. Plus, there might be other people that need rescuing.
True. Again, they shrug their shoulders and say, well...
Screaming at somebody.
There didn't seem to be anybody. But okay, I'll say that you head down there, and basically they were definitely trying to open up like a big wall, and there is sort of a smallish hole that maybe you could fit through where there's something beyond, something similar to the room with the massive creature in it, in that kind of clinical laboratory sort of look.
Oh, do you want to go back? Yeah. Do you want to
but-
go back there again?
Yeah, apart from that, there's nothing else that you can see that they've done. There's no lower levels either.
Okay, head back. Try some of these other passages, particularly the one we hadn't went that we've not went down.
Well, there's two of them. One is the one that looks kind of dark, and the other one, well, is not as dark. But there's two places you haven't been down yet.
Not as dark first. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Leave the really spooky one to last.
Okay, so you stop wandering down that. Meanwhile, back to the other two. So yeah, you've seen this Yithian floating out. Again, not paying you any more heed.
Are we going to look for the other two?
Other two? There was like over 100 of us came in.
Yes, I'm talking about Kuparr and Johnny.
But those are just the two you happen to have learned the names of. There's like over 100 of us.
Oh, you know what I mean. Stop bitching.
Oh, I love you, babe.
Like, some of the ones I slept with, I've learned their names too.
As in?
I don't know, we haven't actually decided on any, but
No, we haven't technically.
A, B, C, and D, for example.
All right, Canning.
I'm going back in the direction where they wandered off.
Okay, but we need to deal with this bomb.
Yeah, but I suggest we do that in numbers rather than just the two of us.
Sure. Let's
Also,
find our allies.
What do you mean dealing with the bomb? Just defusing it? Rather
Well,
than
ideally, make it so it can't go boom.
I was thinking that if we don't know, maybe when the capstone is enchanted and everything, maybe we could still collapse this place to the ground, burying the capstone.
Not with the bomb, no.
Yeah, I
Because
don't
the
know.
bomb rips a hole in the universe.
Oh, yeah, right. Do you think it is actually possible to rip a new one into the universe?
Do you think it's possible to cast a spell to dominate another person's mind whilst your cock is inside a woman who's this hot?
I'm afraid of asking, so I won't.
Oh, that's going on the quotes list.
Okay, do we manage to get back to Kuparr and Johnny since I just learned their names?
Wow. Not exactly, but what I'll say is that you kind of go back the way you came, and you see a load of Mwanjum people, and the rest of them are too, and they kind of explain what's happened, and they tell you which direction Kuparr and Johnny have insisted on going, and they say to you, we've tried to tell them that there's not really anybody else here, and there might be more of those floating things in the dark, so to be honest, we wanted to follow them, but also they're being kind of reckless down here. We need to just finish the job and go.
And maybe they went in the direction where they could finish the job. So
No,
let's
that's that
go.
way.
And they went the other way.
They went down that one, which we've not looked down. No.
Could you repeat to me where those lead?
Yes. So, from Houston's headquarters, as it's called on the map, you've got the way to your. If you're kind of coming back from the cable to your left, there's the sort of there was the booming sounds. Roughly straight ahead is a very kind of dark area or possibly a passageway. There's the way that follows the cable, which again goes back down to this dome place. And then a bit more to the right of that, there's this route which Johnny and Kuparr have gone down, which you've not yet explored.
Well, I mean, I know we must get to the dome because Lady Yitiang told us, but it's not worth it to go without Kuparr and Johnny, so I'm going to take them back. Hopefully.
I'm gonna say for lols, you hear the sound of her voice echoing down from somewhere saying, "I do have a name, you know."
Yeah, I don't give a shit. She couldn't be bothered to ask for mine. Why should I care for hers? By the way,
Fair point.
I'm going down the mysterious route.
So following Kuparr and Johnny, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, you trundle down there for what seems to be a while. There are patches where it gets darker, but you can still kind of see that there's trails of the lights. They're obviously quite far ahead of you, and there's no like extra cables that go down this way. Do you shout out to them? Do you keep going?
I'm not shouting, and assuming I still have one of the torches, I maybe try and light one up.
Yeah, that's fine. Kind of like the rest of the ways around here, it penetrates some of the darkness, but you can't see, miles in front of you or anything. What I'll say though is you do eventually catch up with them because the two of you come across a load of rubble just beyond a generator. You could potentially get through it or kind of move rocks out of the way, but it's quite dense. It's been there for a while.
Is this generator on?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not a recent rockfall then. It's not something they've done by the blasting.
No, it's not recent. No.
So I caught up with them.
Yeah, I'll say that you eventually catch up to them and you see them just looking around this.
What the fuck are you doing, guys?
Well, we're checking out this tunnel, but it seems to be a dead end.
Yeah, because we were supposed to go the other way. The Mark II, no, they didn't tell you.
Then let's go the other way.
Well, you never know. We could have found something, but we didn't.
The keeper heavily hinted. Okay, so you do the walk of shame back to...
To be fair, the keeper heavily hinting could have went both ways.
To be fair, the keeper put a passage in that didn't go anywhere.
I didn't write this scenario. I'm looking at the map. Okay, so yeah, you kind of get back, and I'll say that you get back all together nearish to where Houston's building was.
Well, at least we know now if we have to run away, not to go in that tunnel because it's a dead end and we'll be trapped.
Yeah. See, it was worth checking out after all.
Yeah, how about we stop losing time and go down to the dome?
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, there's another one of those bombs down there. I thought you might want to know.
Yeah, as in no one of us knows what the hell you're talking about because you're the
Yeah.
only character that was present in China.
Oh,
There's a bomb
Yeah,
downstairs.
what bomb?
right.
A-
There
a
is a
big one.
bomb that is so big it can apparently rip a hole in the universe.
Well, it must be a huge bomb.
Well, I never saw the last one, but I'm assuming so because it destroyed an entire island atoll. Then all the fish died.
Oh no, poor fish. Yeah, so we're going downstairs, I believe. Do you want to
Okay.
do
You keep saying
anything?
downstairs.
Yeah, I mean down the
I know.
We're
slope,
going
whatever
down
it
the
is.
passage because let's face it, we're going to do this ritual. We're going to clear this area, and we're going to do this ritual,
Hmm.
and we're going to end this threat.
I'm just double checking something. Ah, okay. So, yes, you head back down the steep ramp. You start hearing the gentle buzzing of the cable as well. But when you eventually get down to the bottom, you notice that the sheer amount of darkness within the dome appears to have subsided. It's still low light, but it's not that darkness that was literally choking the light of your lantern sort of dark.
Oh, okay. So the lanterns work again now.
They do work. However, I would like a group luck roll, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, it's a pass. 42 again.
Ah,
It is
how
the
lucky
answer
for
to life.
you.
It is the answer to life, the universe, and us getting our asses out of here in one piece.
And
Okay.
how much damage we did to that guy in one turn.
And how much damage we did to that guy in
All
one
right,
turn.
all right, all right. Okay, so when you approach the outer archways of this place, you realize now that the whole thing is about a third of a mile across, 600 meters, if you want metric. And it is, especially compared to everything else you've seen so far, it is really quite intact, apart from a few little imperfections from the age, you think. The archway that you come through is just one of many that's all equally spaced around. It's a grey stone floor as well, again with even more ornate patterns than you've seen. And in the center, there's a much smaller hemisphere of archways and so on. And now, Johnny, you can see this purple light again that's emitting from this smaller hemisphere, smaller dome. It's pulsating and growing, sort of like maybe like a heartbeat or something.
This is where it happens. This is where it happens. This is where it starts. This is where it has to stop. It has to stop. It has to stop.
Yeah, that's why we're here, mate. Now focus.
Shh.
I'm being very quiet.
Is there any sign of this bomb?
Not in the immediate vicinity, no. It's not in the kind of outer part. It's
I
kind of
think
like St Andrew's Plaza in that there's not really anything in it. It's just a kind of a marvel, of architecture.
Do we hear people like chattering, moving things?
Oh yeah. I'll say that. Yeah, there are sort of intermittent moanings, agonizing screams. A bit less than there were before, though, when you were here.
Okay. We might go forward quietly and take out whoever needs to be taken out. Are the Martus still with us? I assume they are.
Yeah, they'll come with you if you've suggested that you all go together.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So you reach the smaller hemisphere and the archways within that, and again, there's this strange purple glow, and it's very difficult to work out exactly what it is, like whether it's a source of magic or something living. You don't really know, but at the same time, it doesn't really affect you or change per se with you going in. It's just a thing that is happening, and occasionally it changes in terms of rhythm, but that's about it. But when you go into the inner hemisphere, you can see straight away that there's quite a lot of statues in the distance in here, but in front of that, on your level, there's this sort of almost a meter high stone block. It looks almost like it's been dragged in from somewhere else, this stone, and there's blatantly dark bloodstains on this thing, as if people have been presumably sacrificed on here. There's also a small bonfire, or rather like a used bonfire in front of it. There's quite a lot of charred soot and smoke, but it's not actually lit at the moment. What else is in here? Oh yeah. So beyond the stone, further up some steps, which you think are maybe a bit more kind of well kept compared to everything else in here. There is a 25-foot high statue. Now, for those of you who were in Perth and researched about the sandbat, you recognize this form of this huge black bat-winged aspect with the three-lobed eye. Although, interestingly, this sculpture is not of stone. It's constructed of tree branches and human bones that have been nailed and tied together. It's also wrapped in cloth, and it's decorated with blood and so on. Flanking this large creature or statue, whatever, there are these other statues, and they're kind of they're also flying creatures, but they're kind of toad shaped in terms of their feet are kind of webbed, their faces are sort of chubby and featureless, but they appear to be made of stone. And beyond the bat statue, you can just sort of see around it, there is this huge metallic, quite flat looking thing about the size of a large automobile, that's just sitting there on this higher plinth. In terms of the screams and so on, you realize now what that is, in that on the statue of Nyarlathotep, let's be honest, it is Nyarlathotep, there are various people that have been tied to it. They look in excruciating pain. Some of them are covered in quite a lot of blackness, almost like they're infected with something, or maybe they had magic cast on them or something.
I mean, Planet will do something now, but I don't believe that Mitch would be.
No, he won't.
Hmm?
Planet's dead.
Yeah, unfortunately. Do you reckon it is worth it to start the ritual now?
There's
Or-
people tied up there.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna do about them. I mean, I don't think there's any point in setting them free.
These black patches they've got, is it similar to what we have when we got burnt in our other characters?
No.
Okay.
I will, however, allow Mitch and Johnny to make me no rolls.
No. For fuck's
Actually,
sake.
no, I beg your pardon. Let's make it intelligence rather than no.
It's a regular pass. I was more thinking about the little stabs on the cows.
That's a hard pass from me.
Okay. You are indeed correct, Mitch, in that, yeah, it's definitely something caused by being punctured by the clubs. But from your hard pass, Johnny, what you know is that the cultists basically during their rituals, they take a load of bat dung up to the surface and let it sit in the sun for fuck knows how long with various other stuff in, and they bless it or something, and then they apply it to the spikes on the club, and whatever it is, it causes this horrendous infection, which fortunately didn't do you too much harm, but obviously the people in front of you have not been so lucky.
I do not know that we can save them.
Yeah, I
We
believe that.
can, but we can stop others from suffering their fate.
We could cut them down and make them comfortable.
Rather putting them out of their misery, I'd say.
They need a miracle to get comfortable right now.
Well, more comfortable than tied to a statue.
Are we asking the Martyrs to untie them and lay them down?
Well, we can only use, even if we do the ritual, we can only use one person at a time, can't we?
I don't think we can use them because they're
No.
tainted.
We can't use them, no, but out of our group, we can only use one person at a time. So
Yeah.
other people can take them down. We can only bleed one person at a time.
Mm.
But does everybody have to chant? Or is it just us?
Everyone
Everyone.
has
Everyone.
to chant.
We have to get chanting.
Yeah, I'd say we just get over
It's
with
a bit
it.
of a commitment. We should do a meal first for everyone, get spirits up. But let's deal with these people. We can't have these people suffering like that in front of us. Let's cut them down and stuff.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'd say we'd
Also-
ask the Martyrs to do that.
Yeah. Where's this bomb? Is it here?
Well, like I said, there's this huge metal flat thing beyond Nyarlathotep statue, which is the size of a large automobile.
Okay, let's go and take a look at it because that's probably it then, isn't it?
You didn't see this bomb either, Lin, last time.
No,
So none of us has seen it.
no. But I don't believe they disarmed it last time either. On the grounds that it went
Evidently
off.
not.
So, but I guess if you smash it up, I don't know, let's take a look at it, see if we can understand it whilst we get some food going and sort these people out. And
Yeah,
then
if
once
it's
we've eaten a good meal, we'll start the ritual.
I don't know about smashing it up. If it's a bomb, should we be hitting it?
Well, depends on the type of bomb, but my character doesn't know that. Yes,
Try
of
and-
course.
Even if I mean, if the whole like, it depends. Do they intend? Is the idea to explode the bomb here and create that hole, or
Well, I
fire
would
it like a
imagine.
missile?
I mean, how big are the tunnels, the entrances we've been down? Could they get that back up? I just thought they're going to blow it up here because I mean they've got it all the way down here. I can't see
Well, yeah,
we're
I mean, you
gonna find
don't think
somewhere
they
else.
could get it back up the entrance? Absolutely,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
down a few of the other.
But
no.
then they're in the middle of a desert. They've got to get out of the desert to wherever they're going. Then I mean, they've just built it somewhere else, surely. And they're going to explode it here, I reckon.
Then we've got to find some way of disabling it.
The Yithian mentioned the Indian Ocean, by the way.
Oh, yeah. That's where they're going to do it. This is just on display.
Unless there are tunnels here that go that far.
Well, maybe. Either way, we've got to deal with it. We can't leave it in a working condition.
No. Let's have a look at it.
Well, kind of like if you remember the situation with Grey Dragon Island, this is incredibly advanced for any of you, especially like Kuparr and Johnny. So yeah, you could maybe have a little look at it, but you'd have to have a very good roll.
Is the
Probably,
mechanical repair any good?
yeah, or electrical repair, either of those.
Nothing like that for me.
Yeah, I got
No.
mechanical
We all
repair.
got 10%, right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, even then, you're not going to get much out of it.
Okay.
No, my last character.
Hold
I
on.
got
Wait,
a
hold on.
26. I can spend 6 luck to make it a hard pass.
I can
Okay.
spend 32 to get me a 1.
Let me see what I got then.
It is up to you.
The hard pass is enough.
It's
Don't
not
think
bad, is
so.
it?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Okay, I'm spending 12 more then.
12. Let me see. What am I to? 12 to make it a pass. 17 to make it a hard. And 20 to make it
I mean, I had to spend 20. No. I got a 26 out of an 8 that I need to make it an extreme. Yeah, I
What-
spent 14. No.
What did you say, Jason? Electrical or mechanical?
We're looking for an extreme.
Um,
So it's who's got the least luck to get it down there. It would take me 30.
Yeah, it take me 18. I'm spending it, and
It
it's
take me
not-
no. Hold on, because I've just rolled 9. I can spend 7 to make an extreme.
What's your
Which I'm
base
gonna
electrical
do.
repair? What did I give you?
It's base. It's 10. I rolled 9.
Oh, I see.
And then under,
Right. Okay.
which means 2. I just had to get it down to a 2 for an extreme.
Well, okay. However you want to do it, basically, you can get an extreme. Right. So again, you can't get much out of what it is because you've never used one of these before. It's blatantly way after your time, and also the alien technology does not help. But what I will say is that yes, you confirmed that they are definitely not going to. Well, they weren't intending to move it to outside somewhere. It was definitely designed to be built in here. and maybe to detonate in here or something, whatever. Also, you work out that it kind of as it is, it's not live, so you could just leave it alone if you wanted.
Too dangerous to leave it.
Is it over a pit here?
No, it's on like a slightly upper level.
Because it was over
In
a
the
volcano
temple.
last time, wasn't it?
Yes, it was inside a volcano last time. It's not this time. It's just there. Like there's not really anywhere for it to go. That's the thing.
I mean, we might find a way to collapse the entrance and just leave this thing be.
Has it got wires?
Not in the conventional sense. No, it's all kind of alien tech. Like you wouldn't be able to diffuse it in the same sort of way.
Yeah, but can I wreck it without hitting it? Can I yank things out, take bits out, and break them?
The problem is by yanking at stuff that we don't understand, we might accidentally set it off.
Well, I was gonna say you could do it, but remember what happened last time you did something reckless with a warhead.
We did, yeah.
Let's do the ritual first, then.
Yeah.
Let's have a nice
Yeah,
barbecue, and then we'll do a ritual.
Oh yes, a lovely smoke with no ventilation. That'd be nice. Okay, so we're gonna sort of fast forward a bit. In that, yeah, you sort out the ritual, you do all the logistics after getting everyone's spirits up, and you get the chanting going, and you start shedding a bit of blood on the eye, and you feel things changing a little bit in this area, like things are getting calmer and so on. Oh, by the way, of course, this happens on the full moon, because I wouldn't be that horrible and make you forget that you have to wait a few days. Fortunately, you have enough food, etc. So yeah, you kind of confine them to this temple, and then on the full moon you get that done. From moonrise to moonset, you cast the Eye of Light and Darkness, and you cast the ward over this place. And whilst obviously you can't really save the victims in here, you notice that the sort of toad flying creatures, they become almost more stone, if that makes sense. And you realize that actually in the low light they weren't fully stone when you first saw them, but now they are. And in terms of the bat creature, before it was looking really quite imposing and feeling like there was something about it that it just gave off this horrible feeling. It's kind of hard to describe for you. But now that you've cast a light of darkness, or the Eye of Light and Darkness, that feeling has entirely disappeared.
Oh, it's working.
Yep.
Yay.
Keep it up and keep it going.
Okay. So you carry on, and yeah, you keep casting and so on. Is anybody in particular leading the spell, or are you all kind of doing a joint effort?
Yeah, I believe joint efforts is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone in on it.
Absolutely. And I saved a bonus die for this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you essentially, if you can't remember, you take 5 pow per hour from you. That's how much you spend. Jesus, Phil, sort your headphones out. So yeah, you take five for each hour, and you've been going now for about 7 hours.
Five
Take.
pow each.
What do you mean take?
As in spend it.
As in, it's gone off my character sheet, the POW stat.
Yes.
Jeez.
There are some spells that do that, yes.
I mean, it is
So that's
5
35.
hits
Yeah.
or a total of 5 per hour.
It's 5 per hour each.
Okay, so that's 35. Okay.
We cast it
That's-
quicker.
A small price to pay.
Because if this gets interrupted, I can't do it again. There's not enough POW.
I
That's
think
right, me too.
I'm hoping that we were responsible for the only interrupters of the evening.
Okay. You
And we're
carry
not
on
really getting
further.
interrupted here.
Some people are starting to get a bit exhausted and drained. They have lost quite a lot of blood. It's not obviously enough to kill them, but it's still quite a lot. And you find that down here, it's almost like more is needed than on the island, whether it's because of more power here or something, or maybe because it's deeper underground. You don't know. Presumably you carry on, but I'm going to say at the 11th hour, after you've carried on further, you again lose 5 POW for each of those hours.
So
another 4.
another 20.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Shit.
Crikey.
I'm at down on 5 now then.
You're down to 5 POW.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
down to 15.
I'm down to 15.
Okay. Right. Okay. Those of you who are 10 or below, you feel this incredible screeching. It's sort of dulled at first, but it kind of builds momentum, and it gets to a point where it becomes absolutely deafening, and you can't help but either put your hands to your ears or maybe run out a little bit or something. But wherever you go, it just keeps on screaming.
Oh, what's that noise? Where's it coming
Hold
from?
fast.
Keep
Hold
going.
fast.
Do the jump. It's so
It's too loud.
jump. Kiora. I don't know what the words are.
Sama, Sama, Teo, Sama.
Yeah, I keep doing that whilst holding my head and then
Sama,
Meaning-
sama, teo, sama.
Okay.
Sama, sama, teo, sama.
So,
You're going
carry
crazy, Lin.
on.
Snapped out of it.
I'd like the 3 of you, well, I think it was 3, wasn't it, to make me a con roll, those who are currently struggling.
10 and under, you said, right?
Yeah, 10 or under.
I'm going to spend 3 luck to turn it to an extreme.
Okay.
I got a hard.
Mhm.
33.
Johnny?
I'm not under 10.
You're not? Oh, sorry, I thought it was 3 of you, not 2. Okay,
I'm
that's
at
fine then.
15.
Oh, well. Okay, so the 2 of you, you really try and push and focus on the words. But what I'll say is all 4 of you, and in fact everybody in the vicinity, you start hearing the scream as well, but it begins to change into this voice. And it says to you, "You may weaken me now, but I'm sure that I will return far beyond your lives. And when every life on this world has ended, for I am the only constant, and the one constant is me." And there's this sort of slight weakness in its voice as it finishes saying that
Don't
to you.
forget that French bitch who wouldn't bow to you.
And you hear this almost like something closing. And you are all very shaken from the fact you've lost so much mechanical power. So I think
We're going to have a sleep.
okay. What I'm gonna say say is
Actually, yeah, that's the point. Now our POW solo, it should have been, yeah, okay, we'll come back later. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Fuck off.
yeah, so whether you want to just kind of fall and sleep, or you're incredibly sort of let's say dizzy, again catatonic possibly, you have no kind of real aptitude left except for your basic needs.
Yeah, I'll pass out somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. In that case, yeah, let's say that you'll dramatically pass out after that. So I think let's have the final roll of the campaign. I would like one final group luck roll.
Can I use
To
my
see.
bonus die?
I don't believe that's even a role for you to make.
Doesn't matter.
No,
Don't
because
matter,
you
it's a
normally don't
group.
use bonus dice on luck rolls.
Oh.
So I'm going to say no.
We leave ourselves with. I'm still 52, so I think it's still Giorgio. Ronnie had tons. And,
And I failed, of course.
Okay. So, obviously you as players will know this, but as characters, you became incredibly withered by that spell. It, like I said, it was far more difficult and taxing to cast than the previous one. And whilst you sort of come round, you're never going to be yourselves again. And getting you out of here is extremely difficult, let alone, doing anything of worth really anymore in civilization.
But am I still hot? I don't care.
Sure.
Doesn't matter.
Still hot. But what I'll say is that you are since there's so many people left, because you did manage to help survive, let most of them survive. Rather than you just being dumped in a lunatic asylum, you're actually taken back to the Martu community and are healed properly. It takes a while to the point where January does come along, which I think
And
is
we-
a nice segue.
We missed the final bomb then.
So I just need to look at something quickly.
I think I had a third bomb somewhere.
Maybe that flat thing wasn't the bomb, or they went back for it, or something. I don't know.
Maybe the bomb was up our ass this whole time.
We should have kept the Yithian in the cage until after the ritual to check.
Maybe we would have
You were
bombed.
all like, gotta free her, anti-slavery Mitch.
Perhaps we should have done a deal. Help us, then we'll let you out.
How do we disarm the bomb? Other useful questions, but you were so keen to let it go. I blame it all on you. I'm not responsible at all. I wasn't there.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I can do it like that. All right, so when you start regaining more lucidity, it's kind of up to you, in that I'll let you decide if there's anything your characters want to do after that, since you all survived, or if you want me to kind of give the final sort of outcome of January 1st before you decide.
Well, if it's at all possible, I'd like to actually be sort of out on a boat in the Pacific Ocean, so nervous that we miss something, that they're out here somewhere, about to set it off. I'm trying to find it, but then actually I get as far as the port, can't get a boat, and just kind of give up.
Mm-hmm.
Live out my life in a B&B.
Okay. Anybody else?
I believe I'll move in with the Martus and instead
on.
of being an archaeologist, to put my knowledge and skills to the test, being an anthropologist and studying this tribe and make it a little bit more public so that maybe they will be left alone and be treated as equal.
Yeah, I will also stay with the Matu as I see it as a path to finding some sort of inner peace.
Obviously, I'm staying with them because that's where I live. Yeah, I might get more involved in the rituals for the rainbow snake and stuff, and try and find some comfort in that rather than after what I've seen.
Indeed. Okay, just
We're all
give me-
battle scarred.
We might have missed something, but I can't be asked.
Okay,
that
right.
map had 3 jewels on it, didn't it?
Have we done 3 rituals?
Yeah.
Was it 3 rituals or 3 bombs?
Oh no.
Just give me a minute, sorry. So,
The Yithian said 2, so there's that.
The Yithian lied.
The Yithian was the actual one bringing around the end of the universe.
The Yithian was the bomb.
The phrase is "da bomb."
That as well.
If he knew the future, perhaps we should have asked him if we were going to be successful.
I know, right?
Yes.
Always in motion, the future is.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Right. Okay, so basically, you have finished the campaign. However, whilst you all made it out alive, how well did you actually do in stymieing the great plan? So I'm going to go through each of the main chapters. Peru doesn't really count. And basically, depending on how well you did in terms of the long-term effects, rather than, potential sanity rewards you got for each chapter, you get so many points, and you want as few as possible for a better ending. Okay? So to keep you kind of tense for a little bit longer, let's go back to America. So, all America 2 years ago. So, after Jackson Elias' murder set things in motion, you responded quickly and effectively to the threats of the cult of the bloody tongue, which they threw at you in New York. So, you got Makunga Mdari arrested, and you also got Silas and Kwani institutionalized after you went mad. You destroyed Juju House and its contents, and you exposed machinations of the bloody tongue to the police in such a way that the cult members either fled into Kenya, stayed in hiding, or gave up and blended in society elsewhere. Therefore, with no one taking up the mantle or reuniting the New York branch, no ceremonies are performed on January the 14th, and Harlem that night is quiet. You get 1 point.
And innocent pool tables were spared.
Indeed. I'm so sorry, but I might need some more water because my throat's just tickling. Just give me 1 moment.
Oh, we did not do well in Britain.
No.
Not looking forward to that.
I've got a feeling that London is going to kick us in the ass.
We missed a couple of things as well, don't we? We didn't do at least 1 or 2 stories, side stories.
Yeah.
It's all too late now.
We missed leads in New York because, like, we missed the opportunity to talk to that professor, and that could have uncovered a load of other stuff.
Yeah, but you know,
we never dealt with the people doing the explosions. What happened to them?
Doing what,
Oh,
sir?
I zoned out a little bit.
In the where we just were, what happened to the people doing all the explosions?
We don't know.
And the line walkers. We
I
left the
believe
line
it's
walkers
right.
behind. Oh, blast! I shouldn't have had those drinks. Whoops. So they're going to have detonated the bomb. Having had the realization only 10 minutes later, but in game time 6 months later, I'm not going to be anywhere near flipping Australia because we left the line walkers alive.
I've still got this lingering cough, I'm afraid. So,
So yeah, I will return to Shanghai. I think Australia's going to blow up.
Oh, you've changed your mind. Okay.
Yeah, no, I've become convinced that Australia's going to blow up, and I'm fleeing the country in fear.
Yes. Anyway,
Australia will be fine. It will not blow up as long as certain people go nowhere near the Sydney Opera House. It should be fine.
Yeah. So far you got 1 point. So let's move to England. So whilst this is the O chapter. Whilst in some areas you did fail to stop the cult's plans, your proactiveness in catching up with the Ivory Wind in Egypt and eliminating the 2 leaders of the Brotherhood have worked in your favor. You eliminated both Gavagan and Shafiq. However, it's not however. Mr. House currently remains empty, and any cultists from the house who did not escape the long arm of the law howl in their cells come January the 14th. With the England branch of the Brotherhood disbanded, the police deemed the matter finished. However, this was only on a temporary basis. Surviving members of the Penhew Foundation come out of hiding, and a select few workers originally from Henson Manufacturing in Derby are recruited to their ranks, led by ex-foreman Frank Marshall. Deep in the wilds of Essex, a more intimate rite takes place that night, adding to the voices of their fellows chanting across the world. 2 points.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, we didn't really kill Shafiq. She hunted us down and failed.
Not quite. That's not quite what she did, but yes.
She ran onto our spears or into our bullets.
So next you went to Egypt. And again, Egypt in some ways went very well. Your goals were very focused right from the start, mostly. And you had some preliminary information to help you before setting foot on the sweeping golden sands. And because of that, you managed to eliminate Omar al-Shakti. However, even with some of the lesser minions of the Egyptian branch being arrested for committing arson on the Shepherd Hotel, the cultists are still great in number, and authorities still remain clueless to the secrets that lie below the Giza pyramids. And whilst you did destroy Nitocris's mummy, her resurrection was something that the Carlyle Expedition always deemed irrelevant to the Great Plan. With both pioneers of the Queen's resurrection out of the way, the cult's priorities once again shifted. Therefore, any remaining Black Pharaoh cultists come to Giza from far and wide on January the 14th to perform their version of the Great Rite, summoning one of Nyarlathotep's many avatars, the Black Sphinx. 2 points.
Oh, we fucked that one up.
Yeah, it's not going too well, is it?
No.
Then you went south to Kenya.
Well, the locals dealt with that. We were fine.
Turning to Kenyatta and the Kikuyu peoples, as well as befriending Old Bundare, proved pivotal in your throws to thwart Mweru, birthing Nyarlathotep's spawn from Hypatia Master's womb. You also compelled Old Bundari to travel into the past and learn how to cast the Eye of Light and Darkness. With Bundari preparing the ritual in the past and the Kikuyu tribes chanting in the present, it sealed the bloody tongue inside, closing a part of the Great Gate. The Kikuyu people, now standing strong against the evils of the mountain, have kept any remaining cultists at bay. You eliminated both Mweru and the spawn of Nyarlathotep, and you compelled Old Bundari to act against the Order of the Bloody Tongue, resulting in an Eye of Light and Darkness ritual being cast on the mountain. However, once again, your premature attack on the mountain before the official rite meant some cultists survived or preemptively fled. On January the 14th, any remaining members of the cult of the Bloody Tongue joined the global chant at a lesser site, far away enough from prying eyes and interruptions. 1 point.
That could have been that again. That could have been a lot worse.
Trying to do
See,
it quickly. Didn't.
You know what I'm getting here is that, like, now at the very end, we're finding out what our objective is.
At the end of the day, we could only work with what we had.
Well,
The
absolutely.
team we had.
Yeah. We're on 6 already, so
Yeah.
Then you went to China.
Oh, we blew China up. Let's move
Good
on.
old China, yes. Knowing this to be another place of great significance to the Great Plan, you wasted no time gathering allies or turning neutral forces to support your cause. Getting the help of those with expertise somewhat paid off. You eliminated Ho Fong and Sir Aubrey. You destroyed the rocket, as well as sending some incoming parts to a different destination, or rendering them inoperable. You inadvertently destroyed Sir Aubrey's marine chronometer, thanks to the colossal explosion from dropping the warhead into the lava pit. And you cast an Eye of Light and Darkness on Grey Dragon Island. But of course...
However...
What was left of it?
Yes. All actions, or lack of, have consequences. Whilst you eradicated a good portion of the Order of the Bloated Woman in Shanghai, the branch in Hong Kong remained entirely unscathed. On January the 14th, any remaining cultists gather in the mountains surrounding Victoria Peak to perform a lesser rite to their goddess.
Wait a minute.
Didn't know it was any.
You were even said there's nothing in the book for Hong Kong. Like, you said you had to make stuff up. What's this?
Yes,
Lies.
In the companion, there are cultists. I just meant in the main book.
Shit.
There were points when I did present encounters that could have led to you getting to know the cultists, so I wasn't that horrible, but you just didn't. You just didn't approach them at all.
Shit.
I'm not saying anything.
You
We fuck now.
bait and switch. That's what this is. Bait and switch.
Furthermore, the plans for at least some of Sir Aubrey's silver bullet remain in Derby. But whilst it will take years, possibly even decades, to recover the remaining intact parts, if they're still operable, and plans, and rebuild Sir Aubrey's weapon, Nyarlathotep could technically find another set of miscreants to carry out his bidding to get it ready for another time when it starts the rite again. But considering how much you did in China, point speaking, you got 0.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
I'll take that.
You're forgiven, babe.
I did think about that long and hard in terms of, but yeah, there's enough in there that actually brought it back down to 0.
I suppose those parts we redirected from Port Said, I suppose we should have destroyed them, really, shouldn't we?
We weren't in a position to. Like, we did sink some to the bottom of the
We did.
Yeah, you did. But some you just kind of sent off, and
we weren't
again,
in a position to.
yeah.
I mean, like, without
Destroying
hijacking
them.
the boat.
Yeah, destroying them would have drawn attention to ourselves, whereas
pros and cons either way.
we delaying them and just sending them off would delay things. It was more subtle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Especially as at the time we didn't know what the hell they were anyway.
Yeah, we're all about the subtle, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
No, especially towards the end. Speaking of the end, then you had the final piece of the puzzle, Australia. Jackson Elias never reached the Great Southern Land in his own investigations, but you have gone further. Your thoroughness in exploring what the 5 main cities of Australia had to offer rewarded you with more clues and a better understanding of the cult's modus operandi, which in turn gave you an edge when facing the real dangers deep within the Great Sandy Desert. You succeeded in eliminating the Sydney branch of the Cult of the Sandbat. You eliminated Robert Huston. You cast an eye of light and darkness on the Purple Dome Temple. And whilst you didn't entirely eliminate the Cult of the Sandbat, in terms of those who did turn up on January the 14th, or at least ready for it, they found the place in such a disarray. Some were picked off by flying polyps, and so on and so forth. So there wasn't really enough to have much of a ritual. And furthermore, because you left the warhead alone, they couldn't really do anything with it. They didn't have the ability as such. Having said that, there were still people who did a rite of their own in the Purple Dome Temple, and more did come from the main cities of Australia to, from far and wide to the city anyway. And there still were things that you could have done potentially to lower your score that you didn't do. For example, the great statue of Nyarlathotep in the temple remains intact and is used as part of their ritual. And also, whilst you did do this in China, you did not destroy or tamper more of the marine chronometers, including the one in Houston's headquarters.
I didn't know they were important. I mean, whenever we were seeing these things, nothing else referred to them. We'd just find these weird clocks.
You didn't
with
really
no
look
further
into
explanation. We tried and couldn't find anything.
I know you tried very hard, but for Australia, you get 2 points.
Oh, harsh. That's harsh.
That's 8 on 8.
So we're up
So-
to 7.
8.
No, it's 8 points.
8 because we didn't blow the place as we left.
Perhaps we should have tampered with that form then after.
Mostly, I wondered how much of that is because when you're playing a game, you kind of GM moves on and you go, hang on a minute.
So,
We're player characters. We should have set fire to something.
January the 14th comes along, 1926. And as the total eclipse of the sun darkens the Indian Ocean, a rent appears in the rolling air, an interstellar blackness graced with a single red pulsing star. However, whilst the world is quivering, something is still amiss. The Great Gate does not crack open, not fully at least. And whilst there are certain rituals happening around the world, it is not enough for the Great Plan to entirely come to fruition. They have not been performed adequately enough, and the gate pulses with cosmic light, but then disappears, snapping entirely closed. Across the world, cracks in reality permit entry, though, to all manner of mythos horrors. Ghouls burst up through the graveyards of New York. Dimensional shamblers skulk the shadowy corners of Shanghai. Deep ones raid the London docks, while sand dwellers terrorize those visiting the pyramids of Egypt. And here in Australia, hunting horrors fly across the wide open spaces of the great sandy desert in search of prey. So you didn't get the worst ending, but you didn't get the best ending either. So some keepers kind of use the middle ending as like a way of, doing more and more sessions and whatever. But
I would just like to say the world's still here.
the world is still here, yes.
Nyarlathotep didn't come through.
I
Why?
decided to say
Well,
I
it's
made the
not
You know,
mistake of.
the great big
as
gate
that.
didn't open.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we have now provided lots of new employment for hunters around the world. I'm taking the win.
Okay. Fair
Right,
enough.
you call it a win. I made the mistake of moving back to Shanghai, and then we now got ghouls coming out the gutters. I'm moving to Calcutta.
We
That
got
wasn't
dimensional chambers,
mentioned.
which are better.
Sure.
Um,
Bye.
But yes, normally I'm not entirely sure why they've done this, but technically you're given 1d10 sanity points each as a reward for warding any of the 3 parts of the triangle. But having delved so far into the mythos, your lives have changed forever, and there is no going back to the blissful ignorance of the past. You must bid goodbye to personal peace and comfort and find lonely contentment in great deeds achieved for the good of all mankind. So congratulations!
Wow.
You have finished a
Yay.
2-year campaign.
Jesus. I feel somewhat relieved, somewhat really sad and depressed.
Oh,
And that's over.
Yeah. I was saying that to Jason at the start of the session, before the session started, because he asked me how am I feeling, and I said it's a mix of sad that it's ending, but excited that it's ending, and scared to pieces as to how it was going to go.
Mm.
Also, mate, cheers to you for enduring, mastering this
Yeah. Thanks, Jason.
Absolutely.
juggernaut of a campaign for a couple of years now.
Absolutely.
no
So,
worries.
kudos to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
It
been
was
brilliant.
great fun.
Absolutely.
That
A
was
lot
really
of
good.
work. If you want to do it yourselves in the future, it's a hell of a lot of work.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Although, like, now that I know the general story, like I'm doing the play-by-post still, I don't even use notes really for that because I just know like the stuff in it, so it's not
Isn't
too bad.
like some of that just your approach to GMing though? Like you will go and spend Sunday preparing for the game, and like it's only 2 books.
Yes, but also no.
I think the trouble is with a campaign, you've got to know what's happening quite a long way ahead, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah. There was the main thing about masks is you've got to know the chapter, but also the overall arching plot, what's happening at certain points, if anything,
Mhm.
where certain people are, what the fuck they're doing. And what was I going to say? Yeah, especially in Egypt, I found, and certain parts of Australia. Whilst you say, babe, there's 2 books, that's because you go to a place and there's literally this much text you have to work with.
So they're not even big books.
Yes, but what I mean is to put any sort of fleshing out in there, you have to flesh it out yourself or ask for advice on groups or, all this sort of stuff. And especially to start with, I was basically taking the whole week to prepare. But yeah, I'm really happy that you all stayed with it and didn't get sick of me running this. And
no, you've done a brilliant job.
No,
So-
I've done an
so
absolutely
thank you.
fantastic job.
yes,
Um,
although I imagine deep down you're also happy to change to
Oh,
a different
God, yes.
system now. But yeah, obviously, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have burning in your minds, but I'll cut the broadcast now anyway.
Yeah,
Thank you
and
to those of you who are still watching or have kept with us and what have you, and we'll see you in the next campaign, which I believe is going to be run by Ronnie, unless there's any sort of change, but obviously no pressure. So we'll see you next week or maybe a week after or whatever, depending on how long you need to prepare.
Okay.
But yeah, we will see you soon. But until then, bye-bye.
bye-bye. Thank you.